The Driving While Awesome podcast is recorded live to SD card at the Beeline Motor Club in Santa Cruz, California.
Welcome to Driving While Awesome, part of the Haggerty Podcast Network. My name is Warren.
I am Lane.
And I'm Art.
What are we drinking here, Art?
Before I tell you what it is, I kind of wanted to bring it back to the old school. I remember like a few years back, right around the season, the holiday season.
Were we on a boat?
We're on a boat. It was cold as fuck. And instead of going with beers, we're like, dude, let's try something warm. And we did spiked whiskey, coffee.
Spiked whiskey.
Spiked whiskey coffee, yeah, spiked whiskey. We decided to spike our coffee with whiskey. And it was awesome. Or was it bourbon? I can't remember. But that was a fun time. And, the season tis the season, as they say. So I brought some peppermint mochas, almond milk mochas, because I'm lactose intolerant, and
Wiz
Khalifa's, and we threw a little bit of rum in there, some spiced rum, and from a quick little taste that I had, it tastes pretty awesome.
I haven't tried it yet.
It's very good.
But it is freezing in our studio, as usual, even with this heat lamp thing that we have behind us. So I figured this will warm us up in more ways than one.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's not quite as cold tonight as it has been.
And I also and I was considering presents, a few presents. There's some things that I saw, over the course of the last couple months.
By the way, like 5 years running, we've said we should do like a
gift
Secret
exchange.
Santa.
Exactly.
We also are supposed to do like a list of like things you should buy for people, and then I was like, oh, we should do that. And I'm like, no, this is coming out after.
We're totally.
And we should have done it a month before.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things where I feel like it's an experience. We don't need stuff. We
have all this stuff.
We don't need.
Speaking of which,
Oh yeah, you got something?
we got presents.
Oh,
hey, there you go.
We don't need presents. We love presents.
I know. Send us presents.
If you have presents,
send us presents.
This was sent to P.O. Box 5637 95063 in Santa Cruz, California, from Thomas Park.
Oh, sweet.
So I'll read the letter. I haven't opened any of this
Our
stuff.
favorite broker?
Mortgage broker. If you need any mortgage help in the Bay Area, go to Mason McDuffie Mortgage Corporation since 1887.
But go to Thomas Park.
And his name is Tom Park, sales manager.
Hey, there you go.
He also sends these amazing recipes. I don't know if he must spend
What
a
is
lot
that?
of time.
Like a strawberry rhubarb pie or
It's
something?
a blueberry strawberry French toast bake, which we do.
Whoa.
This is our Christmas tradition. It's a really nice one because you prepare it the night before and you just throw it in the oven.
Nice. And he's also a huge car guy. So
huge car guy. So Tom has the Volvo 850R in
manual swap.
Pale yellow, or what did we determine?
Some yellow.
powder. Wasn't it powder?
Nope.
Powder?
Not powder.
Nope, definitely not powder.
Powder.
That was a good movie though.
Powder blue.
Ian Patrick Flannery. I believe.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
It like still
something about
haunts me.
lightning.
Still haunts me.
I saw it at the theater.
He says to DWA and CWA, happy holiday. To and then regarding happy holidays.
Nice.
Dear Warren, Art, Lane, Nick, and Ali, who's not here. Happy holidays. Thanks for another great year of automotive content and adventures, and for keeping me company on all my backroad excursions. I look forward to seeing you guys in 2023. Signature and all.
Sweet.
All right. Ali, too bad you're not here. We got an Art.
Ooh. All right.
Oh yeah, he gave us sick models before. That's who we got. I got the green 914.
Oh yeah, the Alpine and the was it an E28 or something? It feels like a car.
Mine's definitely a car.
Like
Or
scale
something.
Diecast maybe.
This is good podcast fodder.
Ooh, I love it.
What'd you get?
Dude, I got a Nismo R33 GTR.
Whoa. Silver.
Oh, it's
too.
a 400, right?
It's a silver. No, this is just the Nismo one. Yeah, so it's got the Nismo spec, bumper and stripe package.
Your car has the Nismo hood.
Dude, read it and weep, boys.
Oh,
TRD
that's dope.
edition.
That's awesome.
boy.
So yeah, check that out.
It's a 2006 Toyota Tundra pickup, lifted with the Toyota colorway Borla exhaust.
That's very cool.
These are just trucks. I've never actually heard of these.
Is it the right year?
Jada Toys, City of Industry.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty industrial. It is the correct generation.
So,
and it's a standard cab or a access cab. So thank you, Tom. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, this is super cool. So this is part of the Hot Wheels Boulevard collection. Oh, whoa,
dude,
what is
mine's
that?
an ornament.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's rad.
911.
It looks like
it's a G body car or a turbo. And it's a blue with some stripes, like a 50th.
With the Ukrainian flag on there, nice.
Super fast. Yeah, it's red.
That's a cool color.
It's a Matchbox.
Oh, here's the hook.
Oh, sick.
So this collection, this is part of the Hot Wheels Boulevard collection. I got to turn off that microwave. The one that I got, the R33 GTR, and it's an interesting mix of cars. There's like a T-bucket with flames or whatever that is.
The worst.
A 67 Camaro that looks pretty sweet. Volkswagen T1 panel bus that is actually a Magnus Walker Urban Outlaw edition.
Okay.
And then an 83 Chevy Silverado, which looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks good.
What an interesting mix of cars.
Weird. So what is it called? The Boulevard?
It's the Hot Wheels Boulevard collection. Huh.
So I found randomly today, I was at a place in Santa Cruz called Paper Vision, which Lane knows of.
Yeah.
Buying some stocking stuffers and whatnot. Highly recommended if you're in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And they have some little diecast models. They're not Hot Wheels, so they're a little bigger and usually like kind of chintzy. You know, there's like...
Yeah, they're always on a rack.
Yeah, it's like a Viper.
Like a little
Mustang,
round rack. Yeah.
But they had a couple interesting cars. They had like a Bentley Le Mans racer, and then they had like a Huracan, like pretty decent one. But then in the corner, really good McLaren F1
nice.
LM. So I bought one for Andrew. This will come out after Christmas. He's a big listener, but it's actually pretty rad. It was only $10.
That's
Sweet.
awesome.
So anyways, word of the wise, if you're looking, they're at white and black. So
Excellent.
on a McLaren F1
Great
for
little
Christmas.
store.
It's a great little store. Thank you, Tom Park. And if you want to send something driving awesome, that's P.O. Box 5637, Santa Cruz, California, 95063.
Thanks, man. This is going to go up on my garage wall where I have a few other toys that are thumbtacked.
See, I do that, and then Andrew's like, so...
Oh, what's up with
mine,
that?
Right?
So you leave it in the box because that was more presents?
I leave it in the
case?
box, yeah.
And then eventually I just go, all right, yeah, you can play with it. And I give it to him.
Yeah. The only car that I actually kind of was considering keeping was like this one that Magnus Walker gave me that it was like a limited edition. I don't remember how many there were. And that exact thing happened.
The Dirt Don't Slow You Down edition, or what was it?
No, this was the Dirt encourages you to do dirty things.
Oh, I like that.
But I wanted to save it, and Amelia saw it, and that exact same thing happened. I'm like, all right. And so now it's like in her pile somewhere. Who knows what? I'm sure it's like worth something now. But
I know. That's how it goes.
the only one I want to save. But how good is this peppermint spiked
I'm drinking
peppermint
it too
mocha?
fast.
Well, we have more. That was that.
Really good,
that's
dude.
that microwave in the background. But yeah, I'm stoked you guys like it.
It's excellent.
Excited.
It's excellent.
Amazing.
How far off are we until coffee shops have booze?
So I heard years ago that
Starbucks.
Starbucks was going to to do that. Did they end
the
up
one
doing it?
on Capitola was supposed to, or
Did they?
the one on 17th was supposed to be a booze one.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like a Baja Cantina.
exactly.
Not Baja Cantina.
It was
just a
it was
Cantina
right
edition.
around the time that COVID started. They were supposed to transition over to the and there was certain stores like cantinas.
Yeah.
And they were like they would serve alcohol, and that was one of the ones that was going to get it. And I don't know whatever happened.
Flippin' A.
Probably because of COVID. And now you go into like, I feel like I'm still going into like Starbucks are still kind of weird, right? Do they have like seats and stuff
No,
inside?
they're terrible. The whole thing's terrible. Yeah. I'm so sick of Starbucks.
I don't like that whole scene.
The mobile orders, I've talked about it before. It's just ruining.
Just you just have to own it more, and you just have to be
You
part
know
of
what,
the
though?
part of the
No,
problem.
That's happening everywhere.
I know.
It
like that
happened at
in Paso.
the Paso place at what's that place?
There'll be
Spearhead.
we're gonna come back
the
the
mobile
other
orders?
way. There's
Yeah,
gonna be
it
a-
was the same thing. Like Warren was really upset, dude. He gets like so. He
Dude, was it
I had
almost
to
like
hug him.
dude, 20 minutes
Yeah,
for
because
a coffee.
they were
Because
prioritizing mobile orders?
It was just
Yeah.
the counter is full of mobile orders.
yeah.
It took
and-
20 minutes of me going up to ask them like twice to get
That's
a mocha.
but that's
like,
the place they're blowing it. They have to have a better system. That's like
well, that's
like,
what I'm saying is like,
Yep.
but regardless, like if they didn't have that, it would have been in order of who ordered their shit in the store. And
Right.
we
But yeah,
don't
if
have to get into it.
I mean, I'm down. I
Well,
like
then-
to have my stuff prepared when I just walk in and out.
Hate it.
COVID conditioned everyone to like do mobile orders. Like you've been doing them for a while at Starbucks. I know because I've been on trips
But
with
we
you, and
talked
you like
about it too.
But COVID is like conditioned everyone to be have that app. To have
The big thing
like,
is
do
the
it.
fucking the DoorDash Grubhub stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's really fucked things up. But you would think
Yeah.
at a coffee shop that's not like a big thing you're door dashing, but
I
people
know,
do.
you don't
But
want,
people
like,
do. The Rick
lukewarm
Deacons
coffee
the
and
Rick
stuff.
Deacons of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard wasn't it in like Scandinavia or something where you can get like a drone like to deliver a coffee? That's already happening now.
They're talking about that.
Yeah, that's
Nick,
pretty sweet.
Nick just walked in a Beeline, and you have a present. You don't have to open it on air. You can, but it's from Tom Park.
And Nick of Beeline, I also brought you a coffee mug so that you can share in our celebration of the. The season. So there's a peppermint mocha over there. Grab it from the microwave, and we have some spiced rum for you.
Yeah, presents galore. Let's get into questions.
We should.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Che Core says, and by the way, if you've thought about asking a question, go ahead and do it.
We should.
I'd love to hear from you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It's interesting to see also, I mean, I haven't really mentioned it because it's kind of calling some people out, but I won't say names, but sometimes we'll have people who like go quiet for months at a time and then they pop up out of nowhere, which is nice. We like to see that. But like there's so many that just like were consistent and then just vanished. Are you guys still out there? Are you listening? What's happening? You know?
Who was I thinking about?
Oh, and like and subscribe and rate the podcast on wherever you listen to, but especially Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we don't ask very often. We haven't asked for years, it feels like. And maybe if you know someone in the automotive world that doesn't have a lot of like content at home, they could listen in, watch a couple videos. All right. Che Core says, as it's coming up to Christmas, what is the worst automotive related gift you've ever received? So first of all, this is coming out after Christmas. We apologize, but hopefully you're still in the Christmas spirit when you hear this. Any answers to this?
So it's kind of an answer. I think you guys will appreciate this. I was White Elephant, and I think we allowed up to 3 steals of this particular one. And this one dude, friend of a friend, was there, and he happened to know that I'm a car guy, and he came with a different group, and he brought this like full Armor All detail set. It was like all Armor All branded shit, and I'm like, okay, I had all the shit already in my garage. I didn't necessarily need this stuff.
And it was all the Armor All already.
I had all the Armor All, maybe with a better brand and more of the, it was like these really shitty, like super thin, like microfiber cloths that I would use to like wipe my wheels with, but like, I somehow ended up with it, and I'm like, fuck, like I actually I didn't want it, but I really did want something else, and I went and stole someone else's, which means they took my Armor All thing, and I could tell that he was kind of bummed out about it. But I'm like, I don't want this shitty detail shit that I'm never gonna use, But that was kind of like in your face too, right? Whereas normally you can be like, oh, okay, cool, thank you, and then you can toss it or give it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a weird one.
God, I'm struggling to find an answer here.
I am too. I can't think of.
I mean, I've gotten like weird books and stuff that are, the random. Like I got a van life book recently. It wasn't for Christmas, but and I appreciated it. I kind of thumbed through it and stuff, but I'm pretty tuned into the like what van life is. Like if you'd never heard of it or you didn't live in California, it'd be
you're like I have Instagram.
I have Instagram and I have a van again. Like I'm pretty tied in to that scene.
Yeah.
How do you live out of a van? How do you do it? But that's a good one. Like automotive care products. You're like, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah. Like air fresheners that go in your.
It was all of it. I'm sure it had air fresheners. It had air fresheners and like.
It was like the $39.99 kit or whatever.
Oh, exactly.
Dude, I know at some point I received a couple small books from someone. I don't remember who it was, and I probably shouldn't say it anyways. But they were like car books, but it was total. It was like T-bucket. It was like 1928 through 34, like so hot rods or something.
Super awesome, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just your world is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Ben Roget, related question: what is your automotive related Santa Christmas wish? I don't know.
I don't know, dude. This is like my wife asked me what I want for Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's
like, oh, I want a car.
Well, Fuchs 911 says, what do you ask for Christmas when someone asks for a list? It's so difficult. And he says, I'm not 10 years old anymore. I can buy the things I want.
Yeah, and I do buy the things I want.
Well, yeah.
That's the problem.
And everything you don't buy is too expensive for someone else to buy for you.
Yeah. If it's like under $100, you just buy it.
Yeah. You're like, I want a new set of wheels. It's going to be $4,200.
Yeah, I want those forged ones.
Yeah, or like I want a Dirtfish Rally School two-day deal, you know, like, and it's like, and the funny thing is that it's one of those things that we actually could buy for ourselves, but like we're just so busy and we prioritize other shit, and like, if it's forced upon us like that, like maybe that's the way to do it, right? It's like we have to request it. It's like just give me a fucking Rally School weekend, which is, as you said, $4,000 or something absurd, unrealistic, but. Yeah, that's a hard question.
I know. Automotive related is tough too, because I don't necessarily ask for auto.
Oh, you know what I did actually that worked out great, and this is pre the Griots relationship. I did my father-in-law asked me what sort of like car care products he like, and I said I do like Griots stuff, and I actually at the time I was looking for something very particular that I ended up getting, and my mother-in-law gave me a gift certificate for Griots, so like then I get to get you know, whatever the hell I want. That was an easy one. But then once you do that, it's like,
now what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my brother gave me this wallet, which is a Porsche wallet.
Oh, that's
very
nice.
incognito.
Gift cards are great. Like, I mean, people like, obviously you want to be thoughtful, but like if it's like a Porsche design gift card, then you can go buy like cool shit.
But
you
they're
know?
might go towards something bigger that you weren't.
The only thing is they're not that personal.
It's
you know?
not.
It's like
it's
giving
not.
cash.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you really need cash?
But
like
it's but
like
it
I
is,
don't need someone to give me money. You know what I'm like?
Well, if you want to give me money, that's fine.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. By the
You know
way,
what I'm saying, dude.
but our boy Ricky D.
I got his card.
I got his card and got a little keychain.
Yeah.
head gasket.
It's a 944 head gasket.
It's pretty sick.
And that's a cool little.
No, I think it's actually not. I think he should. It wasn't personal enough, as Lane is saying. It should have been an inline 6 for you.
I know. I'm like, I don't have an inline 4.
I just fucking
own an inline
No, it
4.
was sweet.
You've owned an inline 4 before.
I definitely have. Yeah, that's true. Bobby Reed with the Cars says, in a 30-lap wheel-to-wheel race at Sonoma with Art in his ZHP, Warren in his M3, and Lane in the 911, who is the most likely to win? Whoa. Who's the most likely to go wheels off? And who is most likely to DNF for mechanical reasons?
Oh, geez, man. This is like so
Dang.
sad.
That's an interesting car.
You know what?
Pairing,
Actually,
or
all
like
those
all the
cars,
headsets.
like all those cars are very comparable, like 0 to 60 times.
Yeah.
Like probably acceleration numbers, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
They're all
totally.
around like five and a half
to
like
6.
6 seconds.
Yeah,
five
I
and a
think
half.
the ZHP and the M3 are really evenly matched. Like they'd be very.
Yeah, I think
that was the whole thing when the ZHP came
yeah,
out.
they'd be
Yeah.
like
It was
super
like this is
comparable.
your M3 until the M3 comes, and it's like
Yeah.
I think the only
too.
problem is Art would just go insane because of the lack of throttle response.
dude, I would go. You know what I would go
He would
insane
just come
about?
and go, I can't do this.
Yeah.
His no LSD, dude. I'm like, fuck, fuck this.
lifting
Why
wheel-
even bother? I'm like,
Right. Yeah.
That is an interesting, and I like that they're all pretty closely matched. I think the 911 would outgun us though overall though. Like it is, I think it's a car that is set up for more abuse
more
and
nimble.
performance. Also, like the braking, all of it as it sits, and I think over time you're going to see that. Whereas I think we're going to run out of brakes before you.
That's true.
We're
You're
gonna
probably running out of brakes.
And my car's heavier, like all of those things, right? So I feel
I was
like
gonna say though that the 911 is a little older and a little more of like a handful.
It is more handful.
Where like the M3s and the E46 are pretty easy to kind of like
Yeah.
just motor
was it
about
at Sonoma?
like,
he said.
Yeah, it's a very neutral.
to
Those are
be
very
at like
neutral.
9/10, those are pretty easy cars.
Super neutral.
Where this is a
Not
lot
as neutral.
more of a, and it's no power steering.
Yeah.
More,
I'll trade you if you want.
no, I'm sure, I really don't have an answer.
So you're
for
saying
that
that you would go wheels off
I
because
don't
it's,
think
it's
so.
Nah,
I just think it would
dude.
be a fun.
Older.
I think it would be a fun.
It'd be great.
Fun day at the track.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it also,
Dude, that's like my
Yeah.
dream though, is like not doing a track day because that's not like what I'm in. But if we had the track to ourselves,
Yeah.
you know,
which
and we were
can
able
be
to-
done. Yeah,
be done.
yeah.
Or I guess that goes back to like having a bunch of friends rent the track, which would be
Right.
super fun. Like Nick and the,
Yeah.
in the GTI and
Yeah.
have all these.
Yeah,
people
and the one that everyone
30
does
laps
it.
is a lot too.
It is a lot. Yeah, I'm certain my car would be, but like I would probably overheat it, or like I think it's not set up for that type of driving. Like
I'd let Art pull away, and I'd just be like slow and steady.
Oh, I like it. Watch his
there you go, and then
Yeah, he'd
15
lose
laps
brakes.
in, I'm like totally
Yeah,
toast.
his brakes are just boiling over. He's like, I
Yeah.
can't go any further.
tires are done.
Yeah, he's like, fuck. He's like, bad news, guys. Bad news and good
Oh, because we all got radios, right?
Yeah.
Dude, well, what I was going to say about the track rental thing, everybody does it at Thunder Hill because it's cheap, but it's so fucking far. It's like you have
I
you have to fully like
2
commit.
nights.
And where do
Yeah.
you sleep? It's
You almost want to like, dude, maybe that's the thing, dude. We have to like camp out. Like we have to do our own thing, you know?
Yeah, but then you're like, you're tired. Then you want to be kind of like, at the end of the day, you're all dirty and stuff. You want to go back and be like, have a nice place to
Dude, there's a Motel 6, bro. It's kind of...
Yeah, it's
in
brutal.
town.
It's brutal.
Yeah, I haven't driven west still, and I'm very interested in it. I think it's like right up our
I
alley.
know, yeah.
It's like super twisty, elevation change, all that stuff.
It is.
That'd be fun.
We should rent it one day.
Yeah.
All right. Nicholas Aroche says 987.2, 65,000 miles with 5 owners. So it's a Boxster. 5 owners, but 65,000 miles. Or 987.1, 2007 Boxster S. 1 owner, dealer serviced.
No mileage on the second one?
I'm going 0.2 all day just because I don't want to deal with IMS and bore score and
Yeah. Yeah.
So 5 owners.
Who cares, dude?
Yeah. I mean, especially like, I mean,
A lot
if
of those
there's a
cars
paper
are like-
trail like that kind of car, yeah,
And not
that
a
mileage.
Boxster S, though. It's a
I know, but
Base.
I'm just saying, like, I would rather have an engine that runs than one that blows up.
yeah.
You know, like,
You want to use
I
your
don't
car.
know. I just have rather have a car that works than doesn't.
I hear you.
I don't want to be like Mr. 996 on the shelf over there.
Elf on the shelf?
Yeah, exactly.
That's in.
Are you guys doing it?
Cool new
Up on
thing.
the shelf?
No.
Yeah, we are. It's
Yeah.
miserable.
Never heard
Yeah,
of it.
We ran out of spots. We're like trying to figure out what
By
the
the
fuck to
way,
do.
I forget every time.
Oh no!
Like-
so it's over the night, or you wake
my
up
wife's
super early?
been spending a lot of time away lately, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I wake up and I'm like, oh, and she's like, I want to go look where my Elf on the Shelf is.
And you have
I'm
to
like,
distract her.
and let's just say Elf on the Shelf has not moved a few times.
Oh shit! Really? Well,
Maybe someone touched it. Hey, I think someone touched it. I don't know.
yeah, dude.
He's on the
See, you're not
shelf?
supposed to touch it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and you know what's the most annoying thing? Like, she'll touch it. I'm like, why did you touch it?
Wait, what?
So it was an accident.
I'm afraid to even ask this because
You're
I
not
don't-
supposed to touch it. If you touch it, it means it loses its powers.
But why do you
So
have
what
it?
she does a seance for it, which is so obnoxious because I come home and I'm like, oh, fuck. The Elf on the Shelf is sitting on the floor with a fucking ring of salt around it, dude. So there's the Morton salt, like a big thing of Morton
Yeah.
salt from the cupboard.
Yeah.
And there's a big old huge like circle of salt, which means there's salt all over the fucking living room floor.
Yeah. So then you vacuum that up, or does the elf? do
No,
it?
we have to wait because you can't.
Dude, well, my
do you
kids
get the
haven't
elf?
touched it.
Where do you get
Oh,
the Elf?
yeah.
It just
Barnes and Noble.
appears, dude.
Yes.
Or you buy it at actually Michael's has them.
All right, dude. So I had a funny experience with that. So I was looking everywhere, like I Target everywhere, and
I
we
got
weren't
mine on Amazon.
Dude, we
actually.
weren't even gonna do it. And
Why
then
would you? I don't understand.
well, we weren't gonna do it.
The kids ask for it. But I
That's
don't
what
know.
happened.
Yeah,
So we were gonna do it, but then
'Cause every
Amelia's
other
like,
kid does it.
Amelia's best friend came over, and she's like, "Where's your elf?" And Amelia's like, "What elf?"
but you say the elf is racist. We can't do that.
I
right?
should have sound. Yeah, I should have introduced her to
they
that.
hate
Right?
brown.
The Elf is a bigot.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want the elf around. So, and then we had to bring the elf in, whatever. It's actually worked out fine. I forgot once, but my wife jumped in. She woke up super early that day and it worked out like just randomly. And she like woke up at 5 a.m. and it was like, oh shit, it's in the same spot.
By the
And
way, I
was-
hope no kids are listening to this. But my wife puts like
Spoiler
outfits
alert,
on
spoiler
them
alert.
and stuff, dude.
Whoa.
Like she'll put different outfits on 'em.
That's
I'm
pretty
like,
sweet, dude. Like then it makes it more
she gets
credible.
so
Do you know
stuffed.
the story behind this?
I don't
do
want
you
to know.
Well,
I
that's
don't.
the why. See, the why
I know,
is
but
there's an answer.
But it seems ridiculous, and I don't really want to know.
It's just reinforcing the whole Santa thing. Basically, they're there to make sure that the kids are not being naughty
So is it if you have
or they're
shitty
checking on them.
kids that you want them to say like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, the Christmas season is an easy time to have your kids behave.
But how? I mean, is Phoebe still in on Santa?
Oh, Amelie might be.
What?
She's never said
13?
any- She's never. I think she isn't, but she will not. Like,
How old is she?
She's 13.
Come on.
Yeah.
But come on.
She has not said that she is not in on Santa.
Well, maybe she's like she still wants those Santa presents.
She's not. She doesn't really care about like material goods.
Okay.
She's
She
very,
obviously
like,
knows Santa
she's
isn't
very-
real.
I don't know.
My God. So does she look for the elf too?
No,
13?
she'll hide the elf.
She's in on it. She's in on it.
So then she's
but
then the elf's out of the bag.
we just haven't. They're the elves, out of the bag.
Right?
That's interesting.
There hasn't been that conversation.
You have to have the talk.
No, I'm not going to have the talk. It doesn't have to happen. But
I'm trying to remember when. What do you recall when?
I don't. But Andrew said he's in first grade, and he said, Alexa at school doesn't believe in Santa Claus.
Boom.
And I said,
there's
whoa.
always those kids.
I was like, whoa, that's wild. What did she say? And she's like, oh, just that he's not real. I go, well, what do you think? He goes, I'm pretty sure he's real. But you always play it off like, oh, all the Santas you see like in the mall, those are just these,
those
helpers.
are helpers, or they're just fake Santas.
But Andrew's all in still. So I'm very like,
dude.
We played a movie the other day that started off with like, it was Miracle on 34th Street. We didn't play it. It just happened to be on. And it starts off with the mom is basically saying like, don't tell my kid that Santa's real. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, great.
But not bullshit.
Yeah.
And but the whole movie's about that Santa is real.
Yeah.
So,
dude. So
I would say there's no reason to like burst their bubble.
no, I'm not going to. But I mean,
but you're
a 13-year-old. I'm saying like, you're not having conversations like, hey, what should we tell Phoebe is coming from Santa?
No.
Wow.
As far as I know, we give her Santa gifts, and we give her us gifts.
This is a Christmas don't ask, don't tell is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
dude. So we were at Walt Disney World, and there was a performance.
If you see something, say something though.
But your silence is violence.
Oh, this is true. This is true. And we were watching.
I think I lost.
It was some kind of like performance. It was I don't know, Frozen something,
Frozen on Ice.
Aladdin, and
Aladdin on
and
Ice.
Amelia, when were we there? Like earlier this year. So like she was 6. She's like, Dad, these are people just wearing costumes, and I'm like,
But she knows. She's smart enough for
and
that.
so, but I mean that at that point, I'm like, all right, she's in on that, but she's still enjoying it. It's
and
a
right
performance.
when she whispered that, you're like, and Santa's not real.
Yeah, exactly. Throw it in there. Let's just get it all. And
Exactly.
the gods and all that too.
And
It's all fake.
Well, so many of the Christmas movies are about an older sibling or something not believing like that.
And then they have to come back around.
It ends up being real, right?
Yeah, it's like Elf, the dad, and
Yeah. So there's always like the Christmas miracle at the end, and it's like you just have to believe. Well, yeah, you wouldn't know it's real because you don't believe. You don't hear the jingle bell or whatever from
right,
the what's it
bell.
called?
Yeah.
What's that one movie with Tom Hanks? But anyways,
The
Polar
Express.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Elf on the Shelf. You're doing it to keep your kids in line. There's no other
oh,
benefit.
guess what I get too? The neighbor Julio's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, mommy, daddy, Leah has 4 of them. We need to get more. And I'm like, no.
Don't you immediately call Julio and go, listen?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, Julio, you need to
Chill out.
You need to slow your fucking roll, bro.
Dude, you need to hide those fucking things around my kids, all right? Like that's what we get. Dude, no more. Yeah. We wouldn't have been we were not in on it until Rhea fucking blew it. 6-year-old
Fucking Rhea,
fucking
dude.
Rhea, dude. Blowing it. Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully I'll get out of that one.
Fuck you, Rhea.
Rhea.
Rhea, dude, you got to take it easy. And it's like her little homie that they always compete to. Like
Little homies?
Yeah, dude. They're
I could tell.
they've got their little, spelling bees and everything, but it's good. She's super nerdy, so it's like the type of person that you want around always. It's like, all right, this should be your homie forever. As long as we're around, we want you to hang around with this person, because you're not going to be stabbing.
As long as you don't die soon, or what does that mean?
Exactly.
The real John Webb says the artist at Radwood SoCal was making cool stuff.
Oh,
but
man.
Have you ever purchased an automotive themed art piece?
I really
what
hope-
was it, and where did you put it?
I really hope he's talking about the one from 2019.
No. No. I'm
Stop,
sorry,
Art.
but that was the worst thing of all time.
Did he paint with fecal matter, or was that?
There was flames involved.
There
This
was
is
flames.
Dude, there was a fire.
There was a fire.
flames.
Yeah.
but
you had to put it out, right?
Yeah, it had to
Yeah.
be put out.
That's just
Yeah.
your interpretation.
What happened to the painting? Do you think it's around?
Painting.
That's too.
Oh yeah, who kept that thing?
I kind of want to ask MC3 and see if we can get
Dude,
it.
we should.
We need that.
it in
That
our
needs to
studio.
be-
We need.
I
it's
think
the
we
top.
need it.
Yeah. It was.
We'll just say that we finally gave it away, and we need to give it to the winner.
But anyways,
Yeah.
the kid at Redwood SoCal 2022 was cool,
Yeah, he was cool.
and he painted Kyle's E36 M3
Touring.
wagon.
touring.
Watercolor, which I thought was an interesting choice because he usually uses like markers, and he's like, I want to do watercolor this time around.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you bought automotive themed art?
What about the stuff on the wall? Is anything purchased?
We didn't buy anything.
No, that's all given, or you made it.
We did buy the Larry Chen piece.
No,
right?
we didn't.
Didn't we?
Nope.
Oh, I thought it went to...
Rick Radcliffe gave it to us.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
he had bought it.
Thank you, Rich. So I bought. I was gifted one piece that's up in our house, and I bought another. But the gifted
Art F40, the art one.
Yeah, so I bought that
Sports?
one. It's a signed print of a watercolor as well of an F40 LM. It's really cool by a Bay Area artist, numbered and signed. Bought it at the flea market for $5 frame.
Well done.
I think that was pretty well done.
Probably stolen, right? From like
No, it was like a younger couple that seemed like they were cleaning out mom's garage. Like
estate sale.
It was kind of estate sale style.
Mm.
And the other,
Estate sale style.
that's hard to say.
Pretty good.
And the other one was a gift from my aunt who, she's an artist and into the scene, but I don't know how she came to know that I wanted this, but
Dude, we were just talking about automotive themed gifts and you didn't bring that up.
yeah, but it was for my birthday. Anyways, not a Christmas present, but it's a piece of art like Lane does, but this is before LSD was in production. You weren't.
It's not in production anymore, so.
What?
I haven't done it for
He's retired.
I know, but dude, at any moment you could just spring it.
Dude, what he's saying is he's retired, so all of the stuff that's out there is very valuable.
Especially if I signed it.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Before you retired, this is before you started, but it's just a side profile rendering of the Big Lebowski's car.
Oh, yeah.
And then my wife had it framed with nice matting and stuff, and it sits above the toilet.
That's cool.
Perfect.
But it's all fucked up and beat. But
Wait, what is this car? I don't remember.
It's a Monte Carlo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Monte Carlo,
Okay.
like a 76 or like the worst year, 74 or something.
And it's
So is
rusty and beat up.
The picture, it's like beat up.
Yeah,
and
like the
stuff?
hood's all crumpled and it's got like, fucked up.
That's cool.
So, and it's it was like this guy from Spain that did these automotive movie pieces.
No, I remember those.
He did
We
posters.
had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They did the Pussy Wagon
then
and all that.
He rolled that with the Pussy Wagon from
Yeah, that's right. Those
Kill
were
Bill.
cool. Those were
I mean,
cool.
Kill Bill, sorry. Yeah.
Those were cool.
They're super
And they
cool.
were all like monotone kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so then I gave away the Pussy
right.
Wagon
Yellow. It was all yellow.
at one of our rally dinners. I think it was in Ventura as a raffle present, and I don't know where it ended up, but anyways, that was just like, I don't know if he meant to include it as like a freebie or it was just accidental. Very odd.
Or maybe it was wrong order. Like he thought
Very
you
weird,
ended up
like,
with someone else's order.
Of all the cars to get. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Pussy Wagon.
I
actually
mean,
had to like, I had
Kind
to
of
think about it.
iconic movie.
It is pretty iconic.
It is, but that's not as iconic as like Tay Wolf.
No, not as iconic as Tay Wolf.
I don't know.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean from from Tarantino's movies?
I mean,
But-
Tay Wolf, I think Pussy Wagon's a more memorable
By the way, I love how we
car
call it Tay Wolf.
in
thank
that
you.
movie
I appreciate
compared
it.
to Tay Wolf in. For like the general public, like Pussy Wagon is more memorable than Tay Wolf.
I agree because it was.
If you ask
it was a
people
small,
what car was in Pulp Fiction, they would be like, I don't know. If
Right.
you ask them in
Kill
that,
Bill.
they'd say, yeah, it was this
Yeah.
pickup truck and it had.
Yeah,
What
it's
about-
more nerdy, right? It's more car enthusiast focus.
What about Zed's Chopper?
Oh, Zed's dead, baby.
dude. Zed's dead.
Zed's dead. All right, how about you guys? Any automotive themed art?
I wish I could buy all of it.
I know I've bought.
I
have bought a few. I bought a few prints like a long time ago when you had to like
Oh,
send
whatever.
money via mail order and stuff.
Nice,
but,
dude.
but I don't really have any.
Like
I don't
did
know.
you go to Barrett Jackson? You bought like a bronze statue,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a bronze something.
Whatever happened to that Ferrari print that David Graham gave us? That big poster on hardboard.
It was thrown away somewhere.
Okay, bummer.
It was way too big.
Big,
So
but
if posters are too big, they get tossed.
it was huge and it was
It was matted too, and it was kind of
needed some love.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I've definitely bought some stuff, like some prints or something. But I don't know.
How are you guys on the Stefan Johansson stuff? Like that impressionistic, like
it's not for me.
I mean, it's not automotive themed, is it?
yeah, it is. He has a lot of that's automotive, and
just
some of
like
it's like really
splatter paint or
some
something.
of it's like really abstract, but like it's inspired by a specific corner or whatever. You know, like it's supposed to capture sensation.
It's not me, dude. I saw he was selling the stuff at Velocity Invitational.
Yeah.
In
Oh, really?
there was quite a few of it, a bit of it.
He makes hats, which is pretty cool too. I kind of want one of those.
I think they had those as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they were pretty cool.
I very rarely buy anything.
I feel like I've never had, and I still don't. I don't have a nice enough like house, or I don't have like an office where the appropriate like place to put that stuff.
Plenty of places you could put it, like a cool piece in the garage, or like
I guess, but it doesn't.
You have a wall.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel as, I don't know.
I was thinking like that the F1 photographer that you like that has like a lot of iconic images.
Oh yeah, Schlegel.
Getting one of those like
for sure.
Maybe not like an original or whatever. But
yeah, totally.
Like a really nice print.
Absolutely,
and stuff would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's I today at work that like we were in a meeting and they asked like what your New Year's resolutions were that you're actually going to come through with, and I thought about it, but I didn't want to say it. Like, I want to actually finish my garage remodel, and like part of that is so that I can put that type of stuff in there, because like the garage is my domain and I can do whatever the hell I want. And like in the house, I can't, as much as I'd like to put car shit up. Like, it's just not happening.
Really?
So
not one piece.
She's just not down.
Even if it's like very abstract.
That's like your life.
I know. It's just that's just the way it works.
Even something abstract.
That's probably a possible. That might be doable.
Or even
that might be doable.
How about something like
lifestyle,
really classic,
lifestyle
like a really cool picture of like a brawny wheel that's just like a quarter of it, and I don't know.
Or even like the car is small, but the rest of it's like the Italian countryside. Or I don't know, like something where it's more of a lifestyle.
It's like it's like a little. I like how it's like a workaround. Like, oh, it's a fucking Tuscan village,
well,
but like there's
insane road.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think most of us wouldn't put a bunch of like just cars up in our house. But like,
I mean, you would put a Lotus 49 on the wall.
I would definitely put something that was more like there was a nod to, or like it had a wheel, or I don't know, like an abstract version of a car.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of beautiful, cool cars that would go with, a bunch of like interior decorator type things.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a weird, that's a very common thing to do.
Yep.
I don't know. Art's apparently not allowed, so we'll have to work on that.
It's a weird thing because it's like not even just automotive art. Like my wife's like very, very like particular about what goes on our walls, like in general. And so the car stuff is like way out there for her. Like it's so, but I think there's an angle. I just haven't tried. I think like the splatter paint stuff, like maybe there's something there, like that type of stuff where it's like not even a car, but it's like the sensation of flying into a particular corner at the Nürburgring, right? And like having that blur, like something like that would probably work.
Like something painted in a iconic colorway from some cars, like I don't know what it would
Golf
be,
livery. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
John Player special.
No one's ever done Golf livery.
No.
So I think that's where you'd want to start.
Yes.
I want to know what the real John Webb has, or what he's considering.
Lane, do you want a refill over there? What are you up to?
Yeah, sure.
Holler.
Oh my gosh. I knew it was going to get messy. I knew it was going to get messy at some point.
By the way,
he's spilling.
SV Expert says, why hasn't Art spilled a beer lately?
Oh,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, I got peppermint mocha on the table here.
There you go. Dia Dobro says, what, if any, diesel cars do you guys think are interesting, cool, groovy, have sense of a K-Shin, K-A-Y space S-H-I-N?
Oh, whoa, that's a new
one. Sense of a K-Shin.
How are you doing over there?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch to something.
Diesel. I mean,
Diesel.
I owned a diesel Jetta, and I loved it.
You had it a long time.
Yeah, I had it.
Did like 2 turbos?
Dude, how long did I have it?
5 years.
140,000 miles.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Was it 2 turbos or 3 turbos?
3 original turbo plus 2 more.
Oh.
But the
2
third one
turbos.
didn't blow out.
Yeah.
Or it didn't go out.
You got rid of it beforehand.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What about like the modern BMW wagons?
335s.
Like, Tim Buckland
or
had.
335s.
Oh, well, dude,
335D.
let me tell you about that.
330Ds.
So
I know they're super problematic.
Yeah. So I was considering buying his car in particular, like as part of this whole, when I ended up with the ZHP, like, I wanted something decent, modern. And he's like, no, I can't sell you my car. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, it's literally sitting in my driveway. It's been there for 1.5 years. And the dealer doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's thrown all these different weird codes, and they can't get it to pass smog because
how many
it's
miles?
Like 80,000 or something?
So the only reason I know that they're problematic is because Warren had something at his shop,
Yeah.
or maybe it was like the other
we
shop
did.
next
We
to
did,
you or
yeah.
something.
That model? Like a
And it was
2018 or something?
no, it was a X5 maybe.
Yep.
The diesel, it had 60,000 miles, I want to say.
Yep.
And it was one of these things, and it was the same story. It was like
Just
they could not get it.
nonstop.
It was just they couldn't get it fixed, and
Yeah, it's
dealer thing.
he doesn't know what to do with it. Like it's just sitting there. It's just not fixable basically, and he's gone through and tried to fix it in every way possible, and like gone through like every recommended service and sensor and all the shit, and it's just gonna sit there because he doesn't know what to do with it. So I'm like, dude, well, sell to me for super cheap and I'll figure it out. But I'm like, I don't need
No,
it.
Because
Yeah.
everything in Montana and this
you don't
and
need
that.
a
and-
project.
Right. Well,
like
the thing is that
So
he said
forth.
it runs. It just has a check engine light, and also like it smells diesel-y. Like it's not actually like
Probably something with that DEF or some
yeah, something is weird. Yeah, so
diesel emissions fluid.
that's not a car I would go with. I mean, I know the 335Ds, the previous generation, the sedans were supposed to be really like pretty rad. Like they actually like have a crazy amount of tuning potential, and like they have a big following and all that. But I don't know anything about them outside of that.
But that's one of the ones that's the engine that Warren was talking.
Oh, really? That previous generation?
Yeah, not the 328.
Even those are
which,
problematic.
Yeah. I mean, we almost bought a Jetta TDI buyback car right before COVID. We were looking for a new car for Sarah. She was driving 5 days a week over the hill, and it was like, well, they're pretty cheap and they come with a great warranty and they're kind of check a lot of boxes. And then COVID hit and there was no driving. So I'm really glad we didn't do it because they would not have been worth shit, even though I see them for sale and they're still like premium for the low
those
mileage
seem
ones.
fine, except that they don't offer the same level of like the same like MPGs, right? That they had
It was, like,
originally.
slight. We're talking like
Yeah,
3 or
it's very
4.
slight, and they lost like a couple horsepower.
Oh, really? That's it?
It wasn't as bad. It was like big. They made a big deal out of it initially because people were like freaking out, but then it wasn't.
Dude, that's kind of worth it, really. I mean,
Yeah. So that was one of them that was on the, and you can make them look cool, right? Like GTI this and
Yeah, even mine was lowered on wheels. and
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
it's a good option.
What was that
Handled
one? The TDI Cup edition or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Like those are pretty rad. Yeah,
And
and
we never got the GTD, which was offered.
did
in
not.
Europe,
The
so-
Golf.
I've
which
driven
is-
one of those. Yeah,
GTI
those are
diesel.
cool. Yeah, it's basically a Mark 7 GTI with a diesel.
The
Yeah.
cool thing is that all of our Golf diesels were actually sat lower than stock cars.
Oh, for aerodynamics or something?
I don't know why.
Probably fuel
but
economy.
They were like a sport, basically package kind of thing.
So what other like cars from the past, like any Mercedes diesels, like
I don't know.
240Ds, they're just so slow.
Diesels don't excite me. They were always really slow and just kind of. I mean, unless you're getting into like trucks, like Dodge trucks.
I was just gonna say like
that.
utility
Cummins.
stuff, like Dodge Cummins for sure. Just because they're so robust and so much power.
But cars, the diesel was always just the economy special, right?
Yeah. And up until like, I don't know, 2005, all diesels smelled. They were noisy.
Loud,
It was kind of hard to find diesel in some
and
cases.
they were slow as hell. Like W123s, I've driven a few, and
they were
that's
sooty.
And Rabbit and Rabbit Caddies.
Brutally slow, yeah.
Worst of the worst,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, especially like a car that you would choose over. Like I remember there's like W124 TDs, which are actually interesting, right? Like they have those gills on the
gills
fender.
look cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just on the right side.
yeah, and I guess for a car like that, maybe like if it's you're just kind
You'd
of
rather have the 6-cylinder,
yeah.
the inline 6.
Yeah.
I can't think of any reason why you would. Yeah, like
I don't know. It's a tough one. All right. Got a long question here, but it's worth it because it's from KM Grace. He says, in need of expert opinion, I have a 97 F-150. It's the first year for the more rounded body style. That's been in my family since new with 190,000 miles on it, but in great shape. 4.6 V8, auto, 3-door extended cab. I'm being offered a 96 F-150, so he has a 97. He's being offered a 96 F-150 regular cab in green, 4.9 liter 6-cylinder, 5-speed. That's been in my wife's family since new with about 190 on it. So same truck, basically, but slightly
But
different.
96 is the old body.
So last
but
of
it's the
the-
better looking truck.
That's
Yeah.
the one
old
like
body
Nick
style.
has.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And it's green, inline 6, 5-speed. It has some needs: tires, front suspension, seat, and headliner. I certainly don't need 2 trucks or another project, but it is super rad. Should I go for it? don't really have space for 6 vehicles, so the 97 would have to go, and I lose the back seat for the kids. Sorry for the art style long form question.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks in advance. So that was far shorter than an art style question. But
This is true.
This is so hard. What does he use the truck for?
probably not much. It sounds like
It's a 6th vehicle, he said, or something? Yeah, it's like
Like if it's just a
do you
dump
want,
runner, like U-Haul, like
I
going
think
to Home
that
Depot.
the last of that
I would say
square
the old
style
one.
is so rad.
Yeah, good.
I'm more
96.
into the 96 aesthetically
The
for sure.
round ones are so ugly.
But it's a 5-speed. The other one is auto. So he's going to a manual rather than an auto,
which needs some work, and the other one doesn't sound like it needs
The other
work,
one's
and he's losing rear seats.
in
But
great shape.
does he need that? Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a primary vehicle of any sort. He could technically put the car seat in the front, right? Like, I mean, in the bench seat, like if needed, if he wanted to take his kid somewhere. I don't know, man.
And I'm having a hard time with it. If it was like a 4-wheel drive and it like sat all killer, and I don't know.
We don't know
Either
if it
a
is
4-wheel drive, and I also don't know what color the 90.
And you're not a green guy.
And I'm not a green guy. A green Ford, it's like, ugh. It's a tough one.
Eddie Bauer, bro.
Eddie Bauer. Manual. I mean, I think I'd go 96 just based on sense of occasion, coolness, aesthetics.
I wonder if it'll also inspire him to do that stuff, right? To do the lift and do all that because it's a cooler truck, right? Like it's versus the 97, which is like a whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a cooler truck, and the 97 is not worth preserving.
Yeah, 96 is such an end of an era, kind of like
it is.
It still looks good, and it's like continuing
timeless.
that timeless design.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Okay, 96, go for it. Have a new project, enjoy it, and it's also something from your wife's family, so you'll get points on that side of things. Yes, points.
That's a good way to look at it. As it's improved, brownie points every time. Like
exactly.
Yeah,
and then you take grandma for rides and
whatnot.
Yeah, and you can justify like putting money into it and stuff.
Exactly. Cool. Ranwin Park says, my wife needs to replace her Abarth 500 to drive over Highway 17 3 days a week. She prefers a stick. Which generation of GTI should she get? Budget under 20K.
Oh man, prices are not your friend, but maybe the market's kind of going down a little bit.
Depends on how high mileage you want.
But I would just say the newest one possible. So, I mean, I would shoot for a Mark 7.5 or Mark 7, but if you can't swing that, a Mark 6 is all right. But I do think the improvements in that you know, with the MQB chassis of the Mark 7 was like such a huge improvement. Like you should maybe bring your budget up a little bit to get a Mark 7.
What about a Mark 4 337, huh?
I mean, they're super cool, but that's not.
I'm just kidding. I just happen to know that the one behind us is for sale. So
3 days a week. I think that's the right way to look at it.
I agree with Lane. Yeah,
and it's going to be tricky to find a stick. Not as bad as you'd think.
Is it really?
Yeah,
dude. It
really
was even hard to find a new one with a stick when I bought mine. That's why
What
I
a
bought
trip.
a black car.
Yeah.
But the DSG is great. So
DSG is great, but she wants a manual.
Yep, I think you encourage that.
Dude, I do think those cars are like future classics too. The Mark 7s and Mark 7.5s. Like,
especially nice
if you
ones.
listen to like Intercooler, like Dan Prosser bought a Mark 7.5 and he's like, it's a perfect car. I've ever, you know, like best car.
Especially if you get like a cornflower one or like some kind of cool color and spec.
Dude.
Yeah.
Or like my spec was so good, like that 2017 car, because it had the headlights that followed you, sunroof delete,
the tartan,
limited slip, tartan manual.
Yep.
Nice.
So it had like, it was like the lightest one you can find. It had all the goodies you want.
And that's probably like the LED lights or whatever, like the better lights.
Oh,
like
dude, they followed the road and did all the stuff. Yeah.
So those are only like $1,500 each when they go.
Dude, that car, no, I mean, I don't know, but who cares? Like, really, like, you cannot find that car on the market right now, even for $27,000. It's like, like that year, like that car is like really hard to find.
Yep. I agree.
And then they made the Rabbit Edition, which is like basically the same thing, but I think it had a sun. Maybe it didn't.
Dude, it's such a trip to think about that, right? Because I know people have asked us in the past, like a similar question, but like what contemporary cars will be future classics? And like, it's hard to like really like think of what you see out there right now as being like treasured. And like, you know, it's just like, it's just a lot of modern or at least I should say contemporary cars feel like throwaway cars, right? Like at some point.
Yeah,
but
I think there's
but
that
those
formula.
stand out. Like that, something like that, where it's like it's a very particular package that an enthusiast will appreciate.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. Like
And
the black wings, obviously, like
that
stuff like that.
and special editions
Yeah.
and
And you have to look at
colors.
where the world's going as far as automobiles, like we're, that was like a very fun 220 horsepower or whatever it was, and it doesn't matter that it only has 220 horsepower. It's still more
That's
fun
not the point.
than, it's still more fun
That's
than,
a lot of power.
it's still more fun
Yeah.
than a Tesla or a Polestar or whatever, with
yeah.
like 480 horsepower, 500
Yeah.
horsepower or whatever.
That's plenty of power. Yeah. All right. Last question. Walter Michael Woods says, "Let's hear about Lane's new Alpha."
We'll talk
Ooh,
about that.
That's the last question, so we can transition.
Before we do that, we did get
Didn't need to say that, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
we
kinda
did get a,
segue.
keeping that till the end. So we
before that segue, we did get a question on Facebook, and I was just like, he basically, he softly complained that we're just talking, we cover a lot of events and morning motor, stuff like that. It's like
He doesn't
not
like
as
that.
much on like like us arguing about cars, which he likes.
Oh, I see.
And I said, it's like ebbs and flows, dude. It's just like what we have at our disposal. It's like
Yeah.
whether or not we're driving a bunch of cars or, and it's like that's where we're at right now. And who knows? Like in the new year, I know we have a car or two on the docket that we're getting from like press cars.
Yeah,
And then I think we're gonna have a lot of project updates, probably.
yeah.
including a new Alpha.
But that was Left Lane Prius that asked that. And
Oh, okay.
he did. He softened it at the end. He goes, "I'm not trying to be."
no, I appreciate it. I didn't mention that the Tundra got a new radiator.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it being in the shop, and
Yep.
you were saying, "Should I get an all aluminum?" Or
What did you go with?
I bought a Denso online,
Which is a factory?
the supplier to Toyota.
plastic end tanks
Yep. And
with the tabs.
all worked just fine.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, how many miles on it?
Surprises.
And I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if what's on there is original, and so you're gonna
Kinda
be.
doubt it. I'd be surprised. It has 153,000.
Oh, I bet
miles.
it's original.
Yeah.
It could be, but I mean, radiators.
Even
are
then, even
rare
if it's
item,
half,
so-
like you're still whatever you get on there or put on there is going to be fine for a
Totally,
while. That's the whole
So
point.
yeah, all good.
Yeah.
But no, there's surprises
Yeah.
there.
Right.
That being said, I have I just want to throw this out there, and I mean, you guys both know this, but Warren knows, especially even in Slack, because I throw out shit that I just think of, like a certain sequence of words or letters, or I just say whatever's on the top of my head. I can't say Denso without saying Denso Iridium, because Denso Iridium is a spark plug, and that's so fucking ingrained in my brain. So every time I hear, I'll say Denso, but I always think Iridium in the back of in my head.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
Hey guys.
So I'm kind of retarded. It's kind of
Hey, whoa. We don't
He's
say
saying
that
about
word.
himself.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I can say it because I am, right, Warren?
My name's Lane, but you're retarded. So.
Let's talk about Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo. What's up?
So we got my wife.
You're like, it's been like 4 days since I bought a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is this the car that you saw drive by? Because you said you saw an Alfa Romeo
No, so
graduate
that was
drive
in
by.
LA.
Oh,
we
that was in
saw an
LA.
Alfa
Okay.
Romeo. We saw this lady driving one when we were in LA, and my wife and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool, dude! That lady's driving." It was said like 83 Spider on the license plate or something, and my wife's like, "I want that." So, anyways, fast forward to last week. I drove Michael Deeb, who was on the podcast, one of the bid nerds, one of the two bid nerds, him and John Polnick. I drove his 60 something Duetto Spider, which is like the beautiful boat tail, red over black Spider. And I drove it home from dinner, or here from dinner, and it was really nice. Like his steering was so good, and it was just a cool car. And I was really surprised how tight it felt and everything, thinking it's a 60s Italian car.
Right.
Uh,
And it was really cool. It was like super dialed.
So real quick, I actually didn't know this. Like, I'm not super tuned into Alphas of that era, but when he basically alluded to the fact that that is the same underneath as a GTV, except that it's a Spider. So the chassis is the same. It's just a different body.
I think so.
Like he was talking
and
about just
same engine, dual overhead cam,
that's pretty cool. I mean, just in terms of
cc.
parts and access and all that. And and I mean, I've driven GTVs. They're good. They drive great, you know, and obviously they're renowned, like they're awesome sports cars, you know, or sports sedans or whatever. So I can see how that's.
Yeah. And I think the Spiders are a little roomier from what, I mean, I can tell, like I fit pretty well in the Spider, as opposed to GTVs are always talked about as being pretty tight inside compared to like a 2002 era and stuff. But, yeah, so I drove that thing and I was like, man, this thing's really sweet. John Polnick was actually when he was in town, he was going to go look at a Spider. Ends up being the one I bought. So I basically snagged it out from under him. But, yeah, so my wife, I drove that thing and my wife brought it up, or I brought it up that I drove one, and she's like, I really want one. And then I looked on Facebook Marketplace, saw this one, reached out, or she reached out, and then
she reached out. Oh, wait, your wife. I'm like the seller did. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, it ended up being I don't know, half a mile away. It was on 7th Avenue. Wow. So I went to look at it. Original owner.
What year?
1986. Alfa Romeo.
Dang, original owner.
Spider Veloce.
Okay.
So it's the higher trim level than a Graduate. Graduate's like the base model. Spider Veloce is the mid model, and then there's I forget what the high model is, but it has like
Milano
painted
maybe,
Milano maybe, and it has like painted like skirts on the side and stuff. So yeah, went and looked at it. Original owner, she's like 92 or something.
Wow.
She bought it new in Marin in 1986.
When's the last time it was driven?
It's been driven pretty recently. Her daughter is the one that I did the transaction with.
Okay.
Her daughter is probably in her late 60s.
Sure. By the way, we need to do a profile on the Fiat lady with the beehive hair.
Oh, dude, for sure.
I don't know. I know where she lives. I know where the car is and everything, but what is her story?
The one
She's
that goes
gotta be
to,
90,
she's always at Tremonte.
and the car
And it's rusted out.
is so beyond rusted.
And it's an automatic, I think.
And I think she has another weird car too, like a Citroen or
How
something.
about the 912 lady?
Oh yeah, that's right here on Zebra or on Cayuga. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
How about the fucking Harlequin lady down the street from you?
Oh yeah.
Dude, like that's a car I've wanted since high school.
It's just a normal car for her.
Dude, it's still there, right?
It's so rad. It's still there. Yeah. So anyways, I went and looked at this car, and we made a deal, dude. And it's really cool, dude.
Wait, so made a deal. Did you haggle? Is that what you're saying? You like
So she haggled more than I did, really.
Up or down?
Down.
She was like, it's
like,
actually
"But
kind
I'll
of
take
shitty.
it." I was just
car.
standing there
Yeah.
looking at it. She's like, I'll take it. You know,
I don't even know what they're worth.
I'm
$6
open to
grand,
offers.
$8 grand?
It was listed at 9,800.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that's probably around. They're probably worth, or like if you look at Bring a Trailer, they're
seems
like
nice.
They're like 8,500 to like 15.
Dude, I don't remember ever seeing a white one.
These, by the way.
I mean, it's just. Well, the problem
Which
is
is funny to me because they're not that different than the early ones, but I know they're missing.
All they
few
need is
things.
cover headlights. And
And by the way, the worst thing, they make covered headlights. They're like $70 for a pair or whatever. They're so cheap. They do not fit a post 83 car
at all.
I will make it work.
You'll make it work.
I will make it freaking work.
Yeah.
And I've seen people try to make it work, and they have a gap, and I'm like, why do you have this gap?
Yeah.
I will make it work.
But even with a gap, it's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and also they obviously duettos are like beautiful. I think
that's what I'm saying.
And the
it's
roundness of that front nose that goes.
Yeah.
It like,
They're
and these have a
gorgeous.
more squared off.
But a duetto's like 40 grand.
But you're bookending
more.
it. That's the issue, right? It's one of those situations. I'm sure there's a term out there somewhere, but it's like you have like the successor is really pretty and smooth and sexy. The predecessor is also really like aesthetically pleasing, and this one's got like all this tacked on rubber, and it's not like all this other shit.
It's just that
like,
impact bumper life, dude. Like
that's the thing. It's like,
but actually, the bumpers are pretty good on this compared to like the pre-83.
This one's a metal one. Yeah.
No, it has plastic bumpers.
thought it was
they're more like aero looking.
Oh, okay. Because I saw a picture. I was like,
so they're a little bit. They're nice.
Slimmer.
They're integrated.
This is
basically.
like literally
the rear one's a little big.
This is MGB rubber bumper,
It's
right?
not that
but no, what I'm
bad,
saying is
dude.
like, but in terms of like, that's that idea, right? It's like, okay, like the metal bumper ones are so fucking cool with the really cool grill, and then you tack on these weird ass
This
plastic
got
things.
the uglier grill.
Yep.
The early ones had the rad chrome grill. But it still has a lot of the opportunities to like, and it has ugly like flag mirrors, which like I would love to put some little
Vitalones?
like not Vitalones, but I would love to put some what are they called, the round ones?
Talbots. Yeah. What
Talbots or something, or just like some nice chrome mirrors. And then it
easy.
needs
headlight
covers, and then the wheels are cool, dude. They're campies,
those
campy 5-spokes, but
Classic.
you could also do alphaholics like the
holes,
which are pretty rad, or whatever.
White is such a good color for those too. Like
like
I've
white.
never seen a white one, dude.
So
have you driven it?
Yeah.
At like driven it?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm
By
just
the way,
curious
it
to know.
won't fall apart immediately.
Well, I don't know.
92-year-old.
Oh,
that
because
hasn't done
92-year-old.
anything?
But
And
it's
then
probably
Lane
been
gets in there?
consistently maintained.
It has a lot of miles on it. It has 150.
No, I know, but I'm
miles.
just saying, like, you're going to be driving it aggressively. That it has not been driven like that.
That's
maybe
true.
Ever.
But I was actually I just drove it around the block when I got it when I checked it out, and the tires were really low on air, and it turns out they were like under 20 pounds at all the corners. But I was really surprised like how freely it revved. They sound really good. It's a dual overhead cam 2-liter engine.
Yeah.
115 horsepower, which isn't bad, and it has Bosch fuel injection, which is really nice. In these 80s ones, which is like reliable. The manual transmission, it has that rad shifter I've always loved that sticks out of the dash.
Yeah.
So weird.
And it shifts so well, dude. It's like for a 1986 car, this is like one of the best shifting transmissions I've ever felt in 1986. Like, I mean, it's so smooth and easy. It's like you drive a Volkswagen to that era and you're like, oh, it's like it's crap. You drive like an 86 911, they have their own character to them. A 915,
Right.
It feels like a G50 transmission.
Really, that tight?
Yeah.
I wonder,
It's so good.
Do you know what the MSRP of this car was in period? Like, were they valuable? Were they expensive? I guess?
They weren't cheap. I believe they were like 20 grand,
Okay.
which is like
That's like 60 now or something.
pretty
right?
good money. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but anyways, the car's been resprayed before. You can see it's been resprayed. It's not like bad though, and the jams are still original, which is nice because it is a white car and it's like, and it has all the originality still going for it. The interior is like all like really nice. It has like one split in the driver's seat, but it's in the bottom, like the cushion, not in the bolsters are perfect. It's leather interior with red stitching, black leather with red stitching.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks like vinyl. That's awesome.
Yeah, it has a little wear in the driver foot, where the foot sits on the carpet.
That's what you want.
But overall, it's just like it kind of has like the perfect patina, and it's a really nice car. But dude, they actually drive really well.
When's the last time Heidi drove a stick?
Probably she hasn't driven this one yet. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Her car that she hasn't driven.
Well, I haven't. I have to get it. It's not registered right now.
Okay.
So I have to get it registered.
Yeah. But I mean, when's the last time she was actually daily? Not
dude.
daily, but just, I mean.
Dude, I have no idea.
Like 20
the
years
last time
ago?
she dailied one was probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
And
her
then,
first
did
3
she
cars.
even drive your GTI?
No. She had her first car was a Celica.
Yeah.
77
It's right.
Celica.
What you were looking for, you said, right?
Yeah,
It's impossible.
77 Celica or 76 Celica. And then she had a Jetta manual, like a Mark II.
Oh, sweet.
And then she might have had another manual transmission. But then she's had automatics ever since.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's great that she wanted it.
But also, what you're describing though, it sounds like it's an easy manual, right? It's not like vague or like shit like that. Where it's like,
then the clutch is like perfect. It's like very, it has a nice feel to it.
yeah.
I mean, dude, I was like really surprised how solid these cars felt too. Like,
I want to drive it. I just like tootle around.
Yeah, I've never
driven
driven it.
No, you gotta drive it.
I just want to take it around Westcliff.
and it sounds kind of cool. It's like,
Yeah.
and then I mean, it's like actually feels like a good car.
When I told Sarah, she was like, "Oh, so is that the car that Heidi and I are going to do the rally in?"
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
they
That'd be
should.
so sick.
They
Let's put
should.
a roll
Just
bar
go
on that
winery to winery.
Pretty much.
They should. Yeah.
Oh, so one thing I have learned about the Alpha life, and this is like, just because I've right away, you know, there's little things like it's missing the little surround for the license plate light. Like the license plate light's just like sitting in there and the surround's missing. And there's a couple of like the rear badge is worn and the front one's a little worn. So I'm like, okay, I want to buy some little parts, like spruce it up.
Easy.
And then I need to like paint the bumpers are painted black and then silver on the top. Okay. So I want to paint those.
Yep.
Like they're, you know, it's just little things like that. It's going to be rad and it's going to make this car into something that actually like really looks good. And it's missing like a hubcap on the right, on the little Alpha hubcap on the right front. Dude, it is so different than buying car parts for Porsche.
Oh, I bet.
Or BMW.
I bet.
Like it is so. It feels like a pre-internet almost.
Yeah.
Like I asked Cottrell, I'm like, what's the place to buy? Where do I get Alpha parts? And I had already looked, and he told me one of the places I had gone to, and it's like the. Dude,
it's like GeoCities website and shit.
It's so hard. Yeah. Dude, it's like so hard to like, and there's like not that many parts.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff's out of stock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about a brand.
Ordered.
I mean, other than the modern brand new stuff, like hasn't been around for so long. I mean, since that car was like new, basically. Like that was.
But it just shows you like, I'm like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, you're in muddy waters.
I don't know. Like, I know what's like if I get any Porsche of any year, I know what's cool, what isn't, what's passe, what's like lame.
Yeah.
With this, I'm like, is that
lame? You're talking about like just stock replacement parts, like badges.
I'm also talking about that. I'm like it's hard to understand even what the parts are. Like, you go on Pelican Parts and you can get like anything ever, right?
You should talk to is Emil.
Yeah,
at Emil Sports Car Performance, but he works on those every day. He's been working on them for 50 years. Like he knows all the ins and
that's exactly where I was going to go with that, because the only places that I see where you see those consistently worked on and stuff is like a shop that dedicates like. That's what they do, like
Greg Solo.
Like, well, in the city, like especially like in San Francisco, there's a few of those, and it's like the place, right? So instead of going like they don't have a polished ECS tuning site, you go to the shop, right? It's like you have to call the guy, and like he's your guy, right? And then he has a stock of like whatever badges or whatever you're talking about.
He has new old stock.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, so I mean, which is kind of a cool scene. I mean, it's a whole
cool. Probably a lot of eBay stuff too, parts cars.
Yeah, eBay
for sure. Yeah, like this thing. Like it's really clean. Like the body's pretty straight. There's a couple little dings and stuff, but it needs the left tail light has a little crack in it. So I want to get a left tail light. Those are not available.
Right.
So I have to go on eBay and buy a left tail light. And they're actually not cheap. It's like $295 or something for a used one. So
but I believe it. That's kind of stuff that gets hit every accident, every parking lot.
Exactly.
And then they're none left.
But the car's really cool. I'm actually like it's kind of cool, and it's cool to not have to not have another Porsche basically.
Yeah,
to like mix it up a little bit.
You did well not getting a Porsche. By the way, now you're actually an automotive enthusiast too, which is cool.
We're not. None of us are automotive enthusiasts. We've never. Neither of us.
Technically for Heidi.
Yeah.
So. He still isn't then.
Yeah. I have always liked these things. So
yeah.
It's one of those like, and now that they're old enough where, and you think about if it's modern enough where it actually, it's an 80s car and it has Bosch fuel injection, but it has that 60s vibe to it.
Dude,
So,
I mean,
the design
so kind of have to get driving gloves. I mean,
I know exactly, dude. It's a full-on driving and a little hat.
And a little hat,
like a beret.
Hell yeah,
dude!
Like
not
you
just
or a golf hat, right? Like
it harkens back to The Graduate, right? Like,
Kangol. Get a Kangol, Lane. You'll rise.
British though.
No, it works.
Fedora.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I think it has to happen.
But it definitely feels very 60s in 60s Roadster, and like when you think about like what else do you get? It's like a 356 or a Jaguar.
Yeah.
And this car's under $10,000. Like there's nothing like, and you can get like a TR6 or something.
Not really. I mean,
but even that's like more.
You're in British sports car.
You're in like a Triumph Spitfire or something. Yeah,
but I feel like those things are so archaic compared to this thing. This thing's like way sophisticated compared to that.
Yeah. And it's a little bigger and a little more GT.
Way more comfortable. So I watched a comparison between a TR6 and this.
Yep.
And they were talking about the TR6 is just way too small and there's nowhere to put your hands and all this stuff.
Right. Where do you put your camera?
Yeah, exactly.
More expensive.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Where do you put your camera in a Boxster?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a cool addition to like the community, right? The group. I mean, I would love to have a whirl in
Dude,
it.
I would
I mean, I don't
love
mean to. I'm not gonna go ape shit on it, but like, I just want to drive it.
I
just
would
want
love to have you guys drive it because
leave
it
the
is,
traction control on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that being said, like this one has a little more play on center, definitely more play than Deeb's car.
Well, I definitely want to try
So-
to get it sideways.
yeah.
I mean, what
Nope.
tires are on there?
Oh crap!
Oh, great.
Crap tires.
That'll then let me drive it now.
Yeah, I put air on.
Get it
I put air
sideways,
in
just gonna
them.
break it. Poor little car.
Coming to a stop, it's like the tires are old enough where like they like screech over the
Squeal
paint.
and stuff.
Oh
the
yeah,
paint.
it's like old 80s movies where it's like
yeah.
super dramatic in a parking garage or something.
Yeah.
You're just driving around.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool,
what's
dude.
next? If you got 3 more days before you have to buy another car,
Dude.
Is it only 3 days?
I don't
now?
know. I don't know.
Shoot, man, I don't know.
No.
Dude, I forgot to mention this.
What?
Oh shit. What car? Okay. What did he buy?
Ali and I bought a Bug,
What?
Oh my God! See, I
a
knew it.
65 EW Bug,
So
knew
that's okay. That's the small tail light.
small bumpers.
Is that 12 volt?
It's a
Is
it's
that-
a 6 volt.
6 volts.
Last
60,
of the 6 volt.
66 is 12 volt.
66 was,
Okay.
So 66 was a 1300, I believe. This is a 1200 cc. 65 Bug, white over white and red interior.
That's cool.
We bought it off a lady who has owned it. It was her first car. She bought it in 1979.
Where did you buy it?
Huh?
Why did you buy it?
It was.
No, I didn't ask how much. Why are you buying it? What's your plan for it?
It'll be a little bit of like put some money into it and flip it.
Ah,
Okay.
Originally, we were talking about building a Myers Max.
okay.
So we were looking for bugs,
Yeah.
and we found this through his neighbor who sold him the Land Rover.
Oh, gotcha.
Who has the Land Rover, and he has like a tank and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But it's too good of a car.
Yeah.
It's a 65. It's like,
Yeah.
you want like a 68 that's
buy
like
a
beat up
Manx,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Or like whatever. Because we were going to buy a new body from Myers Max.
Yeah.
Because they offered us one, and we can get a rad like bass boat flake purple. We can spec it out whatever
Sure,
color
sure.
we want.
Interesting. So where is it? At the shop?
It's in San Jose right now. We have not picked it up yet.
Oh, okay.
Is it a runner or what's the deal?
She has not driven it for a year and a half, but it's been an underground parking lot at her apartment complex, and it's registered.
Interesting.
Yeah,
How much was it?
it was
I
$4
forgot.
grand.
Oh, geez. That's can't go wrong.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, exactly. So that's why we bought it.
Yeah. Those are fun to drive. I mean, they are sense of occasion meters.
Dude, so
very
cool,
high.
right?
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
sensy.
It's great. Yeah, it's in the
Sensibility.
amount of like it's just
Miles per
all
mile.
yes for everyone, right?
Dude.
Like everywhere you go, everyone's
You
it's-
feel so good getting out of that thing,
Yeah.
or people seeing you. They're like, "Oh, you go ahead."
I wonder if anyone has a story about like driving one or owning one that you will run into.
oh
Dude, every fill up, I'm gonna be like, "Please, no pictures, no pictures."
Every grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's gas in the Skyline. Every time it's impossible to leave a gas station. It was really funny on the rally. I don't think I mentioned this. I was waiting for, I don't remember. I think it was like somebody. And like, so I was waiting on the side of the road and Nick pulls up and he lowers the window and he's like, "How much dick do you get with that car?" And right as he said that, I mean, literally to the T, this dude pulls up in like a UPS truck or something we had, and he's like, "Dude, fucking sick car," like right, like it could have been 5 seconds. I mean, like it was insane.
Perfect,
and and
man.
it's like, but there's that, like there's a lot of positive vibes. People are super stoked. Like there's stuff that I haven't even talked about. Like once I was at like on Capitol Expressway one time, I just like pulled over on the way down to Laguna Seca for something, I can't remember, and getting gas, and this guy jumped out of his car getting gas, and he's like, "Oh my God," like super exaggerated, like like hands on his head, like, "Dude, I had a fucking silver R33 GTR on my desktop in high school. Like it is the most amazing. Like, can I take pictures? Like, can you take a picture of me with it? Like all this stuff." And
But you didn't mention the guy trying to race you on the way to the rally.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So there's like the good stuff, which is all positive vibes. People are stoked to see the car, and then there's like on the way down right now again, like or like anywhere I go, right? Like I mean, I wasn't driving right now. I'm not driving the GTR right now, but anytime I drive the car on the freeway, there is bound to be some ricer that pulls up and does the pulls on me. Like, all right, like let's go. And I'm like, dude, go the fuck
But those
away.
are your people. This is
not
what you
all of
signed up
them.
for.
Not all of them.
Yes,
No.
it's your roots. It's your current.
Yeah, dude.
Not all
tribe.
of them.
I think it's your tribe.
You know,
is what they
well,
say.
it's
video game culture.
It's anyone who has JDM's anything like or a Japanese car like they've and you know I was talking to Matt we were in the car together, we're on the rally and we're just like trying to figure it out, and he's like, dude, like basically what it is, it's like they just want to say that they raced a GTR in quotation marks, and like it doesn't matter if they win or lose, like it's all they just want to say that they, you know, like the whole thing, and it's an experience for them.
I've had the same thing happen, like driving a Ferrari, and people try to do that stuff all the time. Camaros, and I mean, it's
It's
an interesting thing.
every single time I drive on the freeway, like you know. What I did, so recently I went to the Hillsdale Mall, which is like, you know, a few miles away from my house, and I went on El Camino. I did, and I literally thought, I'm like, I don't want to go on the freeway because I don't want to be annoyed. Like I just want to sit on the fucking thing. Like
days are numbered.
Stoplight and stoplight.
Days are numbered.
No, it's I love that car so much.
I remember when I had my red 996 Porsche. It was like a pretty new car, like 997 had just come out, you know, so it was like pretty fresh. I would always get people revving their engines at stoplights.
Yeah,
so it was always like a Camaro next to me or
It didn't
whatever.
help that it was red.
For sure, but you know, it's like it's the same kind of thing.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But that was more like, oh, I'll beat this stupid like German car or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll beat
Same thing with
you
the
know,
Ferrari.
I'm faster than this guy. But with his, it's an admiration for the car. Like, so like these people, I think a lot of these people, like it's a guy in a Nissan, it's a Nissan 350Z or a
G37
G35 or
or
G37. And they're like, dude, that was my favorite car in Gran Turismo. I'm going to see how fast my car is compared to it. Whether I lose or win, it's a win for me, basically.
Right.
And that's what.
Yeah, and it's like I don't want to go there, you know.
I
and
definitely don't get that in the M3. No one's doing that.
and it's not. Yeah, it's a totally different thing, you know. But that's the
They're
one
like
thing.
best handling driver's car, car and driver, 1995.
Is that 50-50 weight distribution?
Yeah, dude, that's
I
the
don't
one
get any
thing.
props in that car.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
You might.
in our
maybe
world,
you haven't driven enough.
I've driven it around quite a bit in town, but yeah.
I
no
feel
one,
like you would. Dakar yellow, dude.
95.
In my E30s, I never. I think I got a bum once who was like, bitch and ride.
The 944
Felt
got a
pretty good.
lot of play in the last few years.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they've kind of come into their own, or like maybe a red one, like whatever that
Totally.
you know has a good stance, and
Eye
stuff.
catching and
Yeah, I would get so much props. Bums loved it, by the way.
I know, dude. It's a nice
Dude.
car you can lay down in it.
Yeah.
when we're at Motor Lux, I had my car displayed there. And like Warren, what did you say? The most photographed car by security guards.
Oh yeah.
All the security guards were like around it.
Dude.
But so it was funny because one of the security guards
were all over it.
one of the security guards is like, hey, are you going to start it? And I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, not till I leave. He's like, I want to hear the, what did he call it? The cold start. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't sound like anything. Like
The cars back then didn't have cold starts.
He's like expecting it to be like this big thing, you know? And it's like, it's nothing.
When did that start? The whole cold start thing? Because my Boxster has a cold
I think it
start.
was Instagram.
No, but now cars have like a cold start.
Well, a lot of cars have like a cold.
But old 80s cars
start
didn't have
valve.
that.
My Vanagon does. I
They have like the idle air control valve or whatever, which bumps it.
It was
My
the
Boxster
Instagram stuff.
sounds so, it's like very loud when it cold starts, and
Yeah.
it's like bah, and then you
warms
hit,
up and-
you bop the throttle a couple, or you wait a little bit and it goes down to a
Yeah.
calm, you know.
Yeah, there's a cold start valve. I don't know when it started, but I know that the Instagramification,
I like it.
that's pretty good.
Well, there's that.
That's
And
what
it's part of the
started.
whole like two-step bullshit and the revving and all
Exactly,
that. Yeah,
but like it's all about those like garage videos of the Lamborghini that then is firing up for the first time, and it sounds like
Yeah,
just
dude. So
barking.
I actually, you know, we might be we're trying to figure out timing right now with being on Jason Camisa's show, and like one thing I want to grill him on is that he was really into the fucking crackle pops and the crackle tune that the new the new Cadillac fucking Escalade has. I'm like, dude, do you really like that, or are you just being like, do you want to be obnoxious, or like because it is so fucking annoying, dude. I hate that
too, because you have to review those cars in the spirit of owning them, and to own that car in your neighborhood or wherever you as you're driving
absolutely not
would be kind of miserable. And we've talked about that with all sorts of cars where we're like, there's just certain cars that aren't for me, and it has a lot to do with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fine when you're out on the open road and fuck around, but
or
like
if you own it for
occasionally, but like otherwise though, like you have to think about those cars out there in the world
constantly,
and it's just like that shit flying through your neighborhood. It's like
constantly. He's like, this is the best thing. It's the best. But you know, that's going to be a rare car. Obviously, it's the most expensive. It'll be like
$150,000.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
I know. I thought it'd be actually more, but we won't see them that often. But it's just going to trickle down into all the other models, right?
Yeah,
like
and it's out there. I mean, in a lot of this
thing.
shit, it's just
Crazy.
like it's something that. It's one thing to appreciate the sound a car makes, right? It's a V8, it's supercharged, whatever. You know, you have all the beefiness of that and like the whine and all that, like the Hellcat stuff we talked about. But
which I do
to
appreciate.
make this fucking bullshit like just it's just obnoxious. Like it's straight up obnoxious to
I
me.
have no problem with it if there's an on-off switch. If there's a cutout button.
Yeah, I think this is the case. Yeah, like it's in sport mode or
Okay.
something. That
So I think that's okay because if you living with it, or if you are a conscientious person and you're going through a neighborhood at night or in the morning, whatever, you can turn it off. But if it's literally like this is the car and that's what it sounds like all the time, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
First of all, it'd be so annoying.
Dude, it's so annoying. There was a dude, like, just recently, I was on Laurel Street downtown where I live, and like, he was just going back and forth. Like, it's just like, dude, go the fuck away. Some kid, you know, it was some high school kid, and he thought it was funny, and it was in like a Ford, it was a Ford Focus RS or something.
And you see it
Just
like Cars and Coffees and stuff, and people rip around, and it just sounds so bad. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, it's
So,
really bad.
I wanted to touch on one thing really quick. I can't believe I remembered, but the award for the most complex and probably the worst car to maintain and live with is now has been given to a new model. This is just my rankings, by the way.
Okay. I was going to say, was it JD or what are we talking about?
No. It wouldn't even make JD. It's got to be so insane. But have you guys seen any of the videos? And namely, Harry's Garage just did one of the Purosangue.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
I haven't
Where he
watched
goes to
it,
the
but-
Ferrari factory and he does a walk around and he goes through the whole car. It is the most complex, insane vehicle I've ever seen. It's a V12, first of all. They put all the accessories on the back of the motor. So it's between the firewall and the motor, which also
That's
lives
cool.
underneath the windscreen. I mean, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Then the suspension is insane. It's got a 48-volt system. It's got, just watch this video. Listeners, viewers, it's okay. You can stop watching us after this is over and go to Harry's Garage and watch. He just does just like he's in a showroom with it by himself.
Yeah.
And all of it, like the clamshells, the way all that opens, the like everything is the most complex you can imagine. So that's
It's
it.
pretty wild.
It's
I
got-
like the spec of his old man spec of his Amira.
Dude, that thing looks awesome.
It's
I
like
wanna
it
drive one.
reminds me of like my Polestar spec or like my Boxster.
Yeah.
How horrible, though, was it that we had an Amira at our disposal and none of us were around to drive it? When
What?
Brendan had one.
Oh yeah.
Happens. Yeah.
We're
I couldn't even go
just
see it.
We'll get. I'm sure we'll
I
get a
have
chance
seen
at some
We've
point.
seen them
I've
though.
seen
They
them.
were,
But
they were
but
at the
he.
quail.
So I talked to him about it pretty extensively, and he was saying that like it's better than an Evora in every way, including fit and finish. Like they actually got
No,
a lot
I've
of.
heard that's way better.
Yeah, so it's
The
like
only thing that worries me is like all the reviews that have come out so far have not like touted it as being that great.
so he drove it extensively, and he thought like, and he owned an Evora, or leased one for a while, and he thought that it was better in every way as a driver's car, like
Which
in
is saying a ton.
Yeah, so
That car was-
and that's a great car, but now like he's like we're talking Cayman competitor, like it's straight up like
But
GT4
isn't it
quality.
way more expensive.
I don't know, but
No,
just
it's-
like fit and finish is what he was talking about,
Oh,
though,
as
and like
far as
and
fit
so
and finish.
on top of that, the driving dynamics is still has all of the good stuff that we liked about the Evora, but now it's a better built car, which is
I gotta
Pretty awesome.
Saying a
Look into
lot.
yeah.
Anyways, check out the art when you go home. Purosangue.
Purosangue, yeah, I'll check it
And
out.
it's just baffling. The suspension is a trip. It's got some amazing self-leveling technology that's built into the strut with like gears and dude.
Literally a car that you have to be basically a person that has fuck you money that just drops it off and does not even think
I
about
mean,
it.
even
Well-
the name sounds like that, right?
But even that, like,
Purosangue.
I honestly don't think the dealer will know how to fix these cars for a long time. Like, just hope nothing goes wrong.
Well, they have to.
They're gonna send.
They're gonna have
they'll
dedicated
send their
people, right?
guys. Every dealership will have a guy that gets sent.
Yeah.
to
Well, they can't.
Italy.
I mean, well, not, yeah, that's the wrong way to put it. I was gonna say Ferrari can't afford to do that. Ferrari,
No, they do
They
that.
they have to. No, I mean, like in terms of like that's the level of service that's required for
Yes.
that type of ownership, right? And like so that customer is, they want to keep that customer happy is what I'm boiling down.
Ferrari has those crazy warranties now too. So
I just don't see how this car could survive outside of warranty. Like, anyways, watch the video. You make your own conclusions.
It's complex as hell, isn't it? Yeah.
Unbelievable. And this is just the first model, right? Like, there's definitely going to be an electric version and a big hybrid version.
I like my SUVs to be like SUVs, I think.
Yeah, so this isn't an SUV. It's like a hot hatch or like
it's an SUV.
It's a big hot hatch.
They don't want that out there, but yeah, it actually, when you look at it, when he's standing next to it, it's just a tall riding 4-door Lusso kind of thing.
But isn't that what an SUV is? I don't know.
It's a car based, so SUV is a truck, right? So
our SUVs are all car based now.
In the beginning, yeah, but those are crossovers, right? So is this a crossover?
Yeah, it's a crossover.
That's more of an argument. But no, it's not like
what a trip too. Like that's your choice for that experience. I mean, we've talked about it in the past.
I think it's a great choice, assuming you have the F40 in the garage.
So it's instead of a Maybach, right? Where like you're going down into the car, like you climb into the thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but that's a Maybach is such a more comfortable experience.
This is
a
sporty thing.
That's why I don't know. These cars,
it's such a trip.
They don't appeal to me.
Yeah,
the super sporty, like the SUV that's super sporty.
But what do you think about like big sedans or wagons that are super sporty?
Kind of the same
like
way.
E63 AMG wagon. Because that's like the same argument. It's
but
like no,
because that's a way cheaper thing. So that tool could be like a one in
price.
That's like that does everything for the price, and that's the person that has that as their one, as their everything car.
Yeah,
these people have the fucking Ferrari F40.
But I'm saying that someone that bought an E63 AMG wagon, they bought that because it's the most like extreme version of that. Now there's Audi makes a good wagon, but the Purosangue didn't exist.
Yeah.
So
but
that
the
same
Purosangue, the price is so much higher.
It's insane. Right?
So
what are they, like 400 grand?
400.
I'm saying like the person that bought the E63 wagon, they might have not. They have a family. They can't have a sports car. They buy the E63 wagon. It does everything. It's a jack of all trades for them. It's their one car, let's say, and then their wife has a car too, or their husband has a car. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, a guy I work with, Cam, has one.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I love it. It's fat, and I can't have a sports car because, he has all these reasons, right? Like
I
have kids. I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
But the person that buys the Purosangue, they have like a freaking stable of sports cars too.
Or not. I feel like it's LA housewife, dude. It's status.
No, dude,
it's like it's literally it's the person. It's the G wagon buyer, right? It's the G63.
It's the same guy that bought the wagon.
But now it's like okay, we want to buy the biggest fucking dick flop at an event, right? You want to roll up in the most.
I do like the way it looks. I think it's a cool looking car, and the rear seat does fall down flat. Like
sweet, so you can go to Home Depot. Is what you're saying?
Is that an argument that like it is sort of usable.
It's so weird, dude.
It's weird.
I don't know. It's a trip.
Yeah,
it's a trip.
Watch the video.
Yeah, it's a whole other realm. I remember this question came up a while back about this particular car and something else, and I'm like, I can't process it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
I think it's the right move though, because it's
like in vogue or whatever.
Hybrid of the Ferrari ethos.
You can put a dog in the back, is what you're saying?
That you could rally. Like,
I mean, it'll sell great.
Yeah, it's gonna sell great.
You can put your Labradoodle in the back.
I think it's 4-wheel drive and it's totally variable.
Sweet.
V12. Insane suspension,
surprisingly.
So you can go to Telluride in it, and like
absolutely,
you have visibility. You're up high. Is what you're saying? It's like an SVR, but better.
So it's an NA V12, right?
That's cool.
Yes,
so that's super cool. I mean, they're gonna discontinue that engine soon. They have to, right? Like
I wanted to put an NA V12 in my E30, but Nick wouldn't do it. So we had to do a K24 instead.
Yeah, just plop it down.
Dude, I mean,
does anyone have any project updates?
I just want to sell all my cars except for my Skyline. Dude, so one thing I forgot to mention that you guys know that is super crucial that I totally spaced on is I was talking about like selling my ZHP and the E36 and getting a wagon of some sort is because I'm also getting a dog. And so dog is super
Where's that
key.
dog going when
the
you're on
way,
your 2-week adventures at sea?
How is
So-
this a dog?
Yeah.
So dog guy. So the thing with that is,
How is he a dog guy?
I mean, because I'm not busy enough. I don't have enough shit going on.
And you guys are always in town too. How about when you go to Santa Barbara every other week?
Well, the dog goes with you. That's why you need a
That
new
goes
car.
with us, yeah. So, but that being
geez.
said, so Cayenne is one thing. Cayenne will hopefully. My goal is to eventually turn that into an R1S. Even dude. So my
R1S, yeah,
So
yeah.
Jamie's really like best friend from high school. Just put a deposit down for an R1S. Guess when they're gonna get it?
Like 3 years.
Yeah, at the end of 2024.
Yeah. By the way,
It's like
those are cool. So R1Ts, R1Ss, they are cool. They're already kind of old. They're past it. It's already kind of like whatever.
I'm
S's
down.
are funky.
My
to me.
neighbor, one of my coworkers has an R1S and an R1T, and then she has an R1S that's coming in the next month or something.
Wait, what?
What?
She has both, and she's getting
another one.
Yeah,
Why?
because she is getting one instead of her R1T.
2 R1Ss
Yeah,
Interesting,
in the same driveway?
yeah,
I like it.
psycho.
and they're all white.
dude.
What a psycho.
Cool,
Yeah.
dude. So
You
the
told
thing
her
with
that she's a psycho.
well, here's another. The dog thing is whatever wagon, blah blah.
yeah.
But I've been thinking about this a lot, and I really want to buy an American car. Like, and I want to contribute. I want to, but
Buy a
that's the
Saturn.
only one
Get a
that I
Saturn.
want. That's the only one that I want that I think that would be a good replacement for the Cayenne for that purpose. And, I have been up close
That's
and
your
personal.
reason buying an American.
No, it's
car?
not the only reason, but I also
Tesla.
really like them aesthetically. I like that it's an EV. I like all the shit about it. I think it serves it serves its purpose very well. It's just like it sucks that they're so fucking far out and like
Let's get an F-150 Lightning.
you know what's fucked up? F-150 Lightnings are awesome. But you know what's fucked up is
R1S.
F-150 Lightning if it had like a
Camper shell? Yeah.
It's still
Centurion,
such a truck too, though.
a Centurion.
such a
No,
different
dude,
thing.
He's probably a truck guy. He doesn't even know it.
dude, you know what's
He
fucked
wants to
up?
buy an American car, Lane.
Dude,
Come
truck
on.
guy. I'm a truck guy. I'm a truck guy through and through. No, well, it's really unfortunate because like right
He
now,
bleeds
like
red, white, and blue.
anything that
right.
pops up, anything that is available that people get their hands on gets immediately flipped. 130, 120 grand. It's like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
dude?
I
Just
know.
Rivians in general.
Like So I actually like spec'd ours out. Like it's like 79 grand, like for what I want. And it's like, okay, like, you finance it, whatever. It's like a big bill, but
It's that cheap?
yeah. So
Because I almost ordered an R1T and it was like 99.
damn, well, you're a fancy guy over there. You want all this stuff. So, I mean,
Well,
like,
maybe that was back before.
yeah, well, I haven't looked at it recently, but yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, at this point, it doesn't look like shit's is catching up. So
Dude,
it's like,
we have an R1T on order at work that
Yeah.
we ordered a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And we just got the final, like,
when's
hey,
your,
here's the color. I don't know when. And they still haven't given us a
you have
date.
no idea.
No.
So
But
that's
they
what
gave us
sucks.
the final, like,
So
hey, here's your final
I did see, I mean,
spec.
I'm like at this point, like I saw that the ZDX is coming out. Did you see that? Which is the Acura
they're bringing
EV thing,
bringing it back,
and like,
yeah.
and I really like the RDX like that we had as a press car, which is it's about the same size, and like if it's for an EV like just drive around town car with occasionally a Santa Barbara trip, like
Yeah, and it looks great.
dude, I'm down. Like, and dynamically, like Acura knows what they're doing. Like, it's a car that I can jump in and like drive and enjoy. Like, not that I'm like racing it or anything, but it's just I want to like
Traction control off. Though.
yeah, it's a traction control off for sure.
Yeah.
Sport Plus.
Sport Plus.
Yeah.
Sport Plus. Yeah,
Sport Plus for sure, dude.
For obvious.
And so
Obvious, bro.
Lower the seat. You got to lower the seat.
lowers it,
Lower the seat.
maybe some coilovers, you never know yet.
Yeah.
Ohlins or whatever. I mean, but that's I don't know. I mean, at this point though, like that's one thing. But like for my car though, like I have to have dog abilities in the back because I have car seats.
What are you gonna? How?
So I have car
so many
seats.
questions.
So dude, what I was thinking is it's not imperative. We get the dog in March and it's a puppy, so it'll be I'll
What
have
kind
time.
of dog?
We're getting a red Labrador Retriever.
Okay.
I was going to say it's a Great Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, right? It's a what's Beethoven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
St. Bernard.
St. Bernard. So yeah, I mean, dude, so I really like the idea of getting like an Integra Type S, but I don't know if like that hatchback will work. Like, and we'll see what it actually looks like once all that camo is off.
It's way too
Type
small.
S.
But-
I have
way
a
too small.
Civic Type R.
I want small. Like I don't
Get a
like.
Civic Type
I don't want a
R.
big car. Like, but
Civic Type
hatchback,
R.
dude.
smaller.
Kids red cloth interior.
Yeah.
I thought I can pull it off with my
This guy has
ZHP.
like guacamole.
Dude, my
cup
ZHP
holders.
like right now is getting beat up so hard. Like, dude, Alcantara and kids do not mesh. Like,
No, we could have told you that. Yeah. And dogs are even worse. So.
exactly. So I
Scratch
mean,
on everything.
but I don't know.
You
I
need
mean,
an
we'll see what
appliance.
happens.
You need a.
I mean, I already said. I mean,
Ford
I think
F-150 Lightning.
I think a sport
American car.
dude. I don't want a big ass car. No, I mean that's Jamie's car eventually. The Cayenne when we replace it. But like my personal car, like it has to be a wagon or a hatchback that has enough room for a dog in the back and car seats. Like that's for the daily, right? Like my toys, I can do whatever the fuck. But
Polestar.
but do you have enough room back there for a dog? No, right?
No.
Yeah. That's the thing.
slopey.
Dude, you know what I actually looked up? Because I'm nuts. I was looking at what Jay Lamb has. I'm like, dude, what are those Jag wagons?
Oh, yeah.
And they're so expensive.
Dude, there's like 3 of them ever sold.
Dude, they're really
gotta be
valuable.
the
Dude, I thought
sketchiest.
they would have depreciated like crazy.
But
like
it's because of the rarity.
they're banked, dude. Like they're high 40s, low 50s. I'm like, what the fuck?
Trying to find parts for that thing. It's got to be.
Yeah,
I have no idea. But I mean, I always want something kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but
sure.
I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to get. But
What about like a? I mean, you're right back to Cayenne. I guess,
Venza.
but no. Like just something more sporty, like
A Macan. I don't want a
Yeah.
Macan because transfer case issues again. I don't want to deal with bullshit.
everything's bullshit.
Yeah. Everything is bullshit. And that is very true.
There's
Everything
bullshit
has
everywhere.
issues, like at some point.
I know it's tough.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like the AMG. Crossover stuff, SUVs. There's BMW.
What about a
obviously.
Lyric?
Just get a G63 or
Dude.
a G55.
Dude, I saw a G500. I
G500.
sent it to Warren. It
Get
was
a G500.
There was a green one that was super
Yeah,
rad.
that's sick.
It was like,
But how is
And
he
they
gonna
don't go
turn-
down in value.
How is
They're
he going
just
to
like-
turn traction control off?
dude,
That's
I
true.
know, yeah.
But they don't like lose a lot of money.
they don't.
I almost want one just because of the door close. You know,
Yeah,
'cause
do
it
it.
sounds so good.
So you were
So yeah, I was
addicted
looking
to
at
The guy I work
G500.
with has a G63.
I don't want a crazy. I mean, G500 is fine for me.
with
Like, I
a
don't-
tune.
Dude, that's absurd. No, I don't want like a super fast G series. Like a G500 would
No,
be
and
plenty
they
fine.
look better with the smaller wheels and bigger tires.
Yeah.
too.
But that would be cool. That would be plenty fine for me. 8 miles to the
By
gallon
the
or whatever.
way, Art is like tiptoeing around the fact that he's a minivan guy.
I know.
Dude, I know.
Two kids
right?
and a dog.
This is true,
And
dude.
a bunch
I'm
of
like,
luggage going
I
all
know,
these places.
yeah.
I need a
How are you going to go to
Pacifica.
the cruises unless you have all the luggage room?
Dude, where's
Pacifica.
the dog going when you're on the cruise? That's what I wonder.
Oh,
You're gonna
they'll
spend-
board
you're-
him. They'll
you're
put him
gonna
in
be
a-
spending a lot of money
They'll
on this
board him
puppy.
and then he'll
This
get all
is-
nervous and weird. And
This
then
is
you'll have-
a dog hotel bullshit, you know, all that kind of stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'll just drop them off at your house, dude.
Okay,
Andy, Andrew likes dogs.
I don't know
Yeah.
about red labs. Are they good?
It's just a-
Are
it's
they
just a
pretty
golden
gnarly?
retriever.
It's
Or
literally
red-
a golden
yeah.
retriever, but
Yeah, but the red
it's,
ones
but
are those more temperamental. Or
I
are they
just-
a little gnarlier? Like
My whole
you
thing-
know, redheads. You're like
I wanted,
A little
you
more
know,
bitey.
Yeah.
so
they're a
you
little
know,
off their rocker. They're a little psycho.
Yeah, you know, the Testarossa, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know that I wanted, you know, or not wanted. You know that I had an English bulldog, and that you know she passed. It was my stepdog, and so ever since then we've been talking about like getting a dog.
Yeah.
And Amelia really wants a dog, my 7-year-old. And so the
And by
thing
the way,
with that,
every 7-year-old wants a dog.
Yes.
But you just say no.
you say no. Yeah, well, you know, there's positives, and so
Like getting up at 6 a.m.
I was like, dude, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get like.
he's gonna have to walk the dog on all those hills.
I actually
Yeah,
really
dude.
like it, dude. It's
Pocket
dude,
zone.
Yeah.
like extra,
You're
it
gonna pocket
encourages
full
me.
of bags for your warm poop to
Fuck
go
yeah,
on
bro.
your.
Yeah. And so I wanted to get some interesting, you know, like something
Hairless.
kind of is a little exotic, maybe, you know,
Hairless.
like a hairless chihuahua, exactly, something like that. A sphinx, maybe.
The Sphinx.
Or and dude, and Jamie's like, I want to get a golden retriever. I'm like, you couldn't have gone more fucking vanilla if you
Golden
tried.
Retrievers are like the best dogs.
They
ever,
are,
but-
and that's the whole point, right?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
kids, right?
They're
and
so good,
and,
dude.
you know, it's funny when like life happens, right? Like, you know, people out there listening,
Camry of
like
dogs.
it's literally like, you know, we were like the type of people who were like, oh, we got to get a fucking rescue, and like, you know, we don't need to buy this expensive dog,
Dude,
but
you
now
don't want to rescue, by the way.
but now we have now we have kids,
Yeah,
and it's like,
rescues suck.
so you
dude.
want,
Or,
like-
I mean, I'm just saying they're like you get into those situations where you're like the dog was abused and now it's like biting everyone.
right.
Lane, who rescued who?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the whole thing, right?
And then
so
you have
now
a
we're like,
Boxster with freaking
Boxster
ruined rear
Do you hear
front
that?
end because of
Yes,
Oh,
because
I
a
thought he was talking about a
bull-
Boxer, but he was calling it a
Pitbull
Boxster.
Destroyed my car.
Yeah.
So I mean, now we're like in full on vanilla mode, and we're like, all right, let's get the dog that we're gonna pay a shit ton of money for because that has all this pedigree because it's like a very comes from a very good family and all that. But I'm like, all right, like. Do they have red ones? Like I want at least a little
aesthetics.
something.
You want the
a little
aesthetics.
something.
You don't care about the personality.
No,
You
I
want the
mean, well,
aesthetic.
we're getting the personality, but it looks kind of like an Irish setter, which is actually what I wanted. And so, that's what's happening, dude. March.
Oh, you're psycho.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, dude. That's
Boy
or girl?
Dog guy. Boy. Because boys are apparently better with kids. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Poor dog's just gonna be like in a kennel half its life.
That's true. But very fancy
There's
kennel.
going to be
Come
a lot
on,
of
man.
those like,
It'll be
I gotta
eating
get back to the
organic.
kennel by 5 or else they charge me another day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
well, I guess it's another day.
Yeah, exactly.
Word, dude. I can't take this call. I gotta drop the fucking dog off. Dude, I don't know, man. I
can
mean,
only
Puppy, puppy too.
it's been a while. Puppy, and 2 kids. This is
God,
intense,
dude, watch out! Put all your stuff away. They tend to bite stuff.
Civic Type R puppy in the back, chewing through.
up on the side of the skyline.
Oh hell yeah,
dude.
bro!
Hell yeah, bro. Did you
Skyline.
do anything to the box too?
I did stuff to everything, dude. I got the power upgrade in the Polestar.
Okay, so how does it feel?
476 horsepower, 500
noticeable.
and something
They added
pound-feet of
400 horsepower. That's cool.
It gave it 70 or 68 horsepower.
That's beefy.
insane.
Yeah,
It's definitely faster.
Yeah.
It has a performance app now, so you can record your 0 to 60
nice,
time,
dude.
0
And
to 100. and
it
all
really
that stuff.
needs that, by the
What
way.
else
Yeah,
did it,
yeah,
what
that's
else
so
did it
funny.
do though? Some other part of that update was it like Apple CarPlay or?
No, that was earlier. I got Apple CarPlay a while ago.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, it does.
Heated seats.
It's so funny. It's like so
They turn them
fast.
on.
But it's like compared to like a Tesla Plaid or a Lucid, it's so slow, you know?
yeah.
But it does 0 to 60. I just did it on the way home, and it was 4.19 and 2 seconds to 30.
The thing is with that car, it doesn't. That's not a number that matters because we've driven cars that are way faster than that. It's the 25 to 60 where it's like where you're like
40 to
rolling.
60,
Yeah,
And
it's
you're
a
just
40 to 80.
40 to 80. Yeah,
It's
like-
also the ultimate grip in all circumstances.
Yeah.
It never loses traction. So it's like the ability to like do it over and over and
Yeah.
over. And yeah.
Speaking of Plaid, everyone should watch Jason Camisa's drag race.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was a great
9.2 seconds 0 to 60 or a quarter mile. 9.2
9.2.
for the Lucid.
Yeah,
and then the
Sapphire.
9.3 for the Plaid.
Yeah.
Or I'm giving it all away. But anyways.
Go watch this video that Lane just told you everything that happens. But
except for the motorcycle part and the Chiron.
9.3 and 9.3.
I haven't.
also, by the way, I was thinking about that video. It was kind of like sketchy that they raced all 3 of them on that tight road.
They only raced. Oh yeah, they did race.
Which I mean,
3.
it wasn't like
All the
usually
cars?
you'd have like a runway.
Yeah, but they did that in a lot of his videos.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's
I know you're
impressive that they
How
can pull
about
that
even
off.
the Carrera GT side by side was something else. Like that's such a handful.
Yeah, but
When
anyways,
they did it against the Lexus.
yeah, go watch Jason Camisa's drag race replay. I think he calls it.
Yeah, go watch all those. They're amazing.
Yeah.
All his videos are the best thing out right now, I would say.
Yep.
I did some Nick Quarta, Beeline Motors,
Part of him.
Beeline Motor Club. He installed an exhaust on my 911 back here.
Yeah.
My 87 Carrera got an M&K. Single in, single single in, single out M&K stainless steel exhaust. It was only $1,300. Sounds about the same as it did before.
Any more horsepowers out of that?
No
dollars?
horsepower.
No?
No.
No freer flowing?
Maybe it's a tiny freer
Maybe like 3 horsepower.
maybe like a half of a horsepower.
Yeah.
It sounds a little louder at idle, maybe.
Maybe it's just like a stock replacement.
It's a sport, but it's a fact that I am like keeping the cat. I'm keeping like I'm keeping the cat on, and I'm not doing a
legal.
like. Ideally, I would do a stainless steel heat exchangers, and I would do 2 in, 2 out, and it would be like super fruity and all like gnarly sounding.
Yeah.
Or even 2 in, 1 out would be gnarly.
Did you say super fruity?
Yeah, fruity. You know, kind of like
Throaty.
fruity.
Fruity.
Yeah, you say it's fruity. It's like very like it's peppy. It's like it has this fruitiness. It's like
No. I've never heard you say that.
You're saying wait, which car?
The exhaust is extra fruity.
Yeah, it's super gay, is what he's saying. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
cool. But anyways, this one very close to stock.
Yeah.
It's not cool. I don't want it loud, but I just want a little more.
You wanted
I
something.
want a little more fruitiness.
Fruity. It wasn't.
That's cool. I'm down. I mean, you know, you sometimes want that That's sort of
Fruit Loops.
what's the word I'm looking for? It's
Farmer's
a
market.
it's a spice, you know.
Fruit
You want a
salad.
little spicy.
Yeah, a little spicy.
A little spicy.
It does sound a little better, and it was
not cheap though, but it sounds like not a good value based on what you're saying.
I mean, I don't think anything in the Porsche world's a good value.
That's
necessarily,
right. Except
but,
for Super Cups.
yeah,
just go
yeah.
straight pipes.
Yeah, but it's cool. Maybe I'll do a
Something there.
something. Maybe it'll make it a little louder. I don't want it like super loud and drony or anything. So, but yeah, it looks better and it does sound better.
Lane, so I have a serious question for you.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about this.
yeah,
You got the Boxster.
yeah.
What do you want to keep your G body? How do you
Yeah.
feel about your G body? You
I
like your
it.
G body?
Yeah, I like it.
I wasn't sure. Has he talked about liking his G body?
really.
Not really, right?
Yes, I have. I took it on a drive. It was fun.
One drive he took.
No,
it
I
on.
took it to LA too. It was a great road. It was good on the road trip. Too.
Yeah.
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 And I haven't driven it as much as I want to, but I've been I'm like getting some little things ironed out too.
Fruiting.
So Nick's doing the all the bushings, the throttle bushings underneath. I had the pedal box rebuilt already. But yeah, it's super fun. I love the greenhouse.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
the whole
that is a good thing.
like being in it has a different. It's so different than the Boxster, you know. It's like I mean they're night and day, really.
Yeah.
Even how the power comes on and everything's so different.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's definitely. It's just I
different-
wasn't
such a
sure.
different
It's like
era,
so.
too.
So recently, you posted about the 944 and that going away.
Yeah.
And someone
Warren
asked
made
what
me.
was next, and I was thinking like, I mean, technically you bought these other cars, but like you bought like this one because it was
They
there.
said what was next, but obviously this was what was next.
Right,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure if it
80s
was
Porsche.
really next or if it was like it was there and you just bought
We'll
it because
wait
it was an
3
option.
more days and we'll find out what he's going to buy
Right,
next.
that's
but-
well, that's what I'm
Oh, no,
saying.
but he also bought the Bug.
He also bought a bug.
Well,
yeah.
dude, I was specifically looking for an SC or Carrera,
But
By the way-
but I always felt like you were an SC guy.
Hey,
because
there's
I
a,
was looking for an SC Targa.
there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
blue,
Yeah.
kind of a light blue 964 Targa on Brand
Oh,
Trailer.
dude! By the way, 964 Targas are cheap now.
Oh, they are?
not cheap, but
They've
they're
come down.
They're 70,
Dude.
80 grand.
Dude, there's a red one that I
Forever
saw.
for a while there, they
This
were
is
all
like a-
120.
It's
Yeah.
like an ice blue-ish.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
cool.
I've seen quite a few sell recently, and they're
It's on
pretty
now.
good ones.
Yeah.
And they're all under 100 grand.
By the way,
which
there's a
is-
348 Ferrari with it's a silver with red interior.
What year?
I don't know, but it is such a good
coupe.
great looking car. It's a coupe. They're such good looking cars, and that is like if you could get the K swap thing going, really like
Oh, yeah.
dialed on those, it is the ultimate. They're so rad looking.
They're
Then
very cool.
You like at least for us, our mind immediately goes like, well, yeah, they're rad looking, but they're slow and they're super complex and expensive. But
Yeah.
they are so awesome.
They're very cool.
This one is
The
like-
the biggest
They're
issue.
300 horsepower,
The
though.
problem
Not
is
slow.
the main
Not
issue
slow,
though
but-
is the suspension. Like
Yeah,
so
it's the
that so the
handling.
I think it's
94s.
the motors too. Like, for
Yeah,
But the
service
last
is
year,
horrible.
the last year got the F355 suspension, what actually
yeah.
made them handle
They
well.
actually drove well,
whereas
yeah.
like before that, they were like super unpredictable and like really gnarly.
right. That's
so like
that's part of it too.
yeah.
But I think just in general, like
yeah, and I did check
motor.
because like I remember I went through a weird rabbit hole. Like at one time I was like, because Kamisa gets really nerdy about like finding part numbers about shit, and I'm like, and I sent him like an article from 1990 or something with a 348, and we were talking about handling, and he's like, dude, like I do not recommend those at all. Like they're really scary, and I'm like, let's figure out like if they actually changed the pickup points or if it was just parts, and we confirmed that they actually changed the pickup points. It's a
Yeah.
completely different suspension
yeah.
Totally
in
different.
'94. Yeah, so that's the year to get. But I mean, I agree with you. Aesthetically, I think they're super rad. I would take that V8. Like that's cool. It's just I have to have
the
a
service
'94.
thing is where I'm coming from. It just is
The,
so
the engine out bullshit.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
they're
all you
definitely
want.
really cool though.
On top of the G body stuff, which Nick is addressing, he's doing some bushings too. Got some elephant bushings and stuff.
Elephant
and got
racing?
some- and got some
Made-
normal bushings. They're all rubber. I didn't get any like gnarly stuff.
But it's made out of elephants.
It's made out of elephant
That's
skin.
cool.
Yeah,
Elephant
yeah,
horns.
yeah,
Elephant horns.
Tusks.
tusks.
Elephant. I
Horns.
mean,
Yeah, that's cool, right? That's cool, right?
Yeah.
It's cool these days. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So to the Boxster, I did it myself, guys. Project.
Wow, there you go.
I saw your
Legit.
little picture. It
I
looked
did
like quite a little project.
dude. I had to take. I had to like take the car down to nothing,
Engine out to do
engine out. I did a short shifter.
Boom.
I did a shift
Engine out.
knob.
Dang.
I installed
ZHP
a
or no?
phone. It basically.
Yeah.
I installed a phone mount,
Uh-huh.
and I made the phone mount out of 2 phone mounts.
I like that.
Combined
That's
it
a
to
very,
make one.
that's a very
fit.
Lane thing to do. I like
Yeah,
it.
very
I like
Lane
it.
thing, and it's
Yep.
very clean, dude. It's very clean
It
looking.
looks great.
And then I also installed a Counting Crows CD. Yes. It has a single disc CD player.
Yeah. Greatest
Installed.
hits or
No, August and everything after.
Dude,
yeah.
I have a Counting Crow story. I'll tell you in a second.
And then I also installed Cocoa Mats.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I did with the Boxster. So, and then I bought I bought spacers, 12 millimeter spacers for all 4 corners.
Do you have to get? Oh, you definitely have to get extended lugs for that.
Dude, they're not fucking lugs, dude. They're just bolts on
Oh,
the
really?
baby. So it's
Oh,
super
shit.
easy. You just
Okay.
get long bolts, which is like such an easy thing to do compared to, I've installed lugs before on a 996, but
Yeah.
it's a little more work. And then I'm trying to do housekeeping because we haven't. I took pictures of my mechanic, Mario, his 996 turbo, 30,000 miles
What's going
on
Bring a
it,
trailer?
and it's on Bring a Trailer as of today.
Nice.
Black on black, 996 turbo, 30,000 miles, has fab speed, headers, exhaust, all this stuff. It's like a 500 horsepower right now, but it easily can have 650 basically. And I drove that thing. It's pretty rad. It sits well. It's lower and stuff. It's a really nice car though. An original owner.
That's crazy.
30,000 mile
That's
car.
super low.
And then I also drove a friend's 2007 WRX wagon. So Hawkeye wagon manual.
Yeah.
Evan's car.
Oh yeah.
I took pictures of it for him. He's going to sell it. Those cars, they still drive pretty well. I like how they steer and stuff, but they're definitely I don't know.
Cheap.
They're definitely and the power, they're not as torquey as I remember, even though that's a 2.5. So that's the torquey one. They don't have a lot of sense of occasion to them. I think
They're pretty economy.
I want to say STIs still probably do.
Yeah.
Because they have that metal shifter and they have that sound and stuff. But these are very, I don't know. Yeah, it's
that's definitely one of those that on paper and seeing them, you're like, oh, that's a WRX. Then doesn't.
Yeah, you
quite
kind of
do it.
drive and you're like, they're pretty slow nowadays.
But hopefully someone buys it for a lot of money.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw on Bring a Trailer they had an E21 with Alpina wheels.
those.
Super, super nice car.
320 IS.
Yeah, photographed in the Santa Cruz Harbor on Bring a Trailer. And then today I saw that car drive by me in Santa Cruz.
Oh, no way.
Color.
White. And I thought you took the pictures because it's in one of your little,
Yeah, one of my
little
spots.
haunts.
Little spots.
Yeah,
but it wasn't you. So the car is on Bring a Trailer now. It's a
that's cool.
nice one.
I
And
like
I think,
those.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram. So,
I actually commented on that post because the caption was, "Is this the best spec for an E21?"
Oh, hell no.
And I'm
There's a
like,
four-cylinder.
no, not really. Actually, an Alpina B6.
And was
is
it
the
a
best
Euro too?
No,
Was it-
it's a US spec 320
Alpina
IS.
wheels, had a spoiler, and
Well, the 320 IS is cool. It's got the 3-spoke steering wheel. It's got the spoiler.
Recaros.
It's got the air dam. It's got the Recaros. It's got an LSD, but same power. It's nothing else going on. I mean, and then
Alpina's a
US
different
spec.
manufacturer. So,
But it is an E21. They said E21. They did not say BMW. Yeah. I mean, if we were going to stick to BMW, then I would just go 323. Inline 6.
Exactly.
Small
That's what
Euro
I'm saying.
bumpers.
It's
Yeah.
twin exhaust. All right.
Twin exhaust.
Project car updates for me. I got some parts for the BMW. Very basic stuff. Battery hold, jack pad.
Wow.
What else did I get? Something else cool. Oh, the valve cover is the cosmetic finned looking valve cover, cam cover on a M3, silver and black. It was missing one of the
Oh, the little plug holes.
bolt
Yeah,
covers,
the little
so
plugs.
Bought that. That was very
Satisfying.
satisfying thing. Although I almost broke the little tabs putting it on somehow. Anyways, that's good.
That's
pretty
cool.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. The seat is like falling apart now. Had a tiny tear in the bolster and it's destroyed. So I got to get that fixed. Take it out to Watson, see if they can just do a panel. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but I don't know how that stuff works. It's kind of magic to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Leather work.
You don't even want to know. You just say, hey,
can you
make
do
this
it?
work?
Hopefully they can.
Dang, do I have to take my ZHP all the way down there? Because that's another thing too. It's like,
I've heard there's some good places in San Ho these days.
Really? Yeah.
I wonder if it's to take the seat out and drop the seat off. Probably. That's probably the move.
Yeah, that would be the move. Yeah, and dude, because like as you guys know, my ZHP has a tear in the driver's side bolster, and the headliner is fucked, as are all the pillars. Like, and so is it? It's one of these things where, like, I was talking to Nick about this actually recently. Like, I feel like as a seller, like one of the things that I learned over the years is like you want to have the stuff that is expected to be bad fixed, because then it's like, oh, it doesn't have the saggy headliner. Oh, the pixels are okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like, all the shit that goes bad with whatever car. You want to have that fixed. Doesn't have a cracked dash, like, or the control arms are dialed. All the shit that is expected to be bad, and then like it's a really good selling point, right? And it makes people feel good about buying the car. And like, I'm gonna spend, let's say, $1,500 getting this shit sorted.
Yep.
But like, am I gonna get that back? I don't know. But like, at the same time, it's like it'll make it an easier sale. But here's the problem: headliner is easy. It's just bolster. It's Alcantara, which is, it fades with the sun, and the Alcantara in the interior is like gray now, which is pretty normal. So like, do I try to match it, or do I get the original color and then have it fade? You know what I mean? It's like a weird thing.
So hard.
Or do I just leave the bolster and just do the headliner? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You do it in black, but it's because it's impossible. Like, Alcantara doesn't come in like.
Well, what's your
colors.
plan for this car? Are you gonna keep it for a while?
No. I mean, I as I said, I want to sell both of the E36 M3, which I fucking love. Like, I every time I drive it, I drove it today for a while too, and it's like
so much.
I would love to have an E36 M3 in my life as a thing in the corner. Even though I say like I've experienced them enough, but then like the thing is that I've gone to the point where like I've driven enough cars, and like I figured out like, okay, like this is something that I appreciate, and like I love the package as a whole. Like, it's got the rawness, the engagement, the sounds, the feeling, but it is modern enough, right? Yeah, it's got like squeaky, gnarly door panels which require new clips. They're bullshit, but that can be sorted. It's just like that they're so cool. Like, the E30 feels way more old school. Like, it feels, like an early 80s, maybe even a late 70s car.
Right.
Was the E46 like, it has this level of modernity, but it's still very analog. It's still old school feeling, and I love like the seating position, the dashboard, like all that shit. It's so cool. And, I think like down the line, we'll see what happens, but I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like, I almost want to be that weird guy that buys a pristine one and gets to enjoy a pristine one, like
an E36.
Yeah, an E36 M3,
yeah,
and
awesome.
it's, and I see the appeal, like, they're going for stupid money now, but like, I would try to find the deal in the right car, and I wouldn't care. I'll get the 200,000 mile car, but that is very well kept. That is a sedan that I can still have the kids in the back of and all that shit down the line, for the sake of having that. Like, I mean, I'm still looking for that unicorn. I mean, which is never going to happen. And that's another thought that I had, because I've always wanted a Techno Violet with Modena interior, which makes Warren throw up a little bit in his mouth. But like, I want that PB&J car, and like, would it be weird to get a techno car and put a Modena interior in it?
Yeah, be really weird.
Yeah,
totally.
Just ridiculous. For the sake of having that color combination.
Totally ridiculous.
No,
I basically need to make one. I need to make my own.
Well, you can have it covered in any color you want. So it could be something close, like that one guy that you showed. That one, it was a Bentley color or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And no, I mean, you can get like something close, exactly.
That'll
and
be
I
the
think
cheapest leather too. Just the worst color.
Cheapest leather? Why?
No one wants.
I want saddle. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Dude, it's such a trippy like space to be in right now too, with like the whole wagon hatchback thing too. Like, because I want something relatively new, if not new, and like I'm even looking at Genesises now. Like the SUV things, and it's like I don't want a big car, but like I want something that is the right fit for my needs. Especially like if it's that daily that it has to do all this other stuff.
If you're hauling a dog and kids, like, just give up, dude.
Just get a G50, G whatever.
Yeah, but why not the Golf wagon?
Volkswagen's still in the mix.
perfect.
Yeah. It's still in the mix.
Small, but
yeah.
plenty of cargo space.
Yeah. It's still an option.
Appliance-ish, but can be fun.
I just want to the funny thing right now is like I'm looking and I've looked at and I've seen a couple that are interesting and I'm like, there's plenty in the market and I don't want to pull the trigger because I already have too many cars. Like I don't want to add another car right now. Like I really want to like be disciplined and be like, all right, let's get these out of the way. Let's get them out of here and then go and replace them, so that's where I'm at right now, but we'll see what I end up with. I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do either of you guys have your real ID yet? I'm going to get that tomorrow.
I go passports all the way.
Why are you getting it?
Actually, I had my passport.
My
for
license expired on my birthday.
Well, you've
and and you only have like 4 more months until and then you need a passport to fly. I don't know.
Domestically.
This guy hasn't had a license for like a year.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But so I went through the whole I had to take a test online, then I had to send all this paperwork in.
Test online for your driver's license?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Like, how'd it go?
Did
you do well?
Passed,
that mouse is back, by the way. Nick, that mouse is back over here in the corner.
Sick, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah, he went under the couch.
I passed the test, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
The worst of those
Take a
tests is
little class.
like how many feet before a stop sign do you need a signal? It's like 600, 700, 800.
It's 200, dude. Or no, it's 100.
100,
actually.
right?
Yeah, whatever it is. But there's
you can move over into the bike lane 200 before.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
It was one of those that got me.
But dude, you listen to it all, and then you take. I don't know. It's super easy.
Well, good for you. Dude. You're
But
gonna get Real ID.
also Real ID. It's like the way they explain it. It's like you need to like have this, that. You don't need that much stuff. You just need like I have a passport. You need a passport. And then I submitted my Haggerty insurance card and my, what else? Oh, like Verizon bill.
Oh, because you need a bill with your
Minor,
name and shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Show where you live.
I always
I'm like,
trip out on
what
that
does
too.
that
Like
give you
the,
more than like, I already have a freaking license. Why can't I just get a like, why do I need that?
I kind of want to get clear actually too. Because
Dude,
we have TSA, dude. It's pretty good. Like so far, like I mean, we have TSA pre-check, but it's like, dude, a lot of the times clear is faster. So like, I want to have both.
I need pre-check and I need clear
and global access and
pre-check is good, but clear is like because clear is the same thing except that they have shorter lines. That's what I've experienced. So I just want to get in
clear.
front.
You know, that's what got Barry Bonds in trouble.
Clear for sure.
So anyways,
I don't know what the clear bad.
I got a shed at home.
Just
and
do roids, dude. Just do steroids.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The clear, you just do roids.
Yeah.
I got a shed at home, which was very exciting. But I was moving stuff into it, and it came across a box of like baseball cards and stuff like that from forever ago.
Find a Bonds card?
Yeah. Top is a 1991 Barry Bonds
Pirates.
NL MVP Pirates
Sick.
Clear.
When he's all little.
And I'm like, I wonder what this is worth. Like, I have no idea. I haven't looked at baseball cards in forever.
25 cents.
I do have a buddy who's into baseball cards, so I'm like, I wonder what this is worth. $500.
Nice, dude.
I mean, it's just mint.
It's pretty good, but no, it's not like
It's
know,
not in like a hard case with the perfect corners.
It's in a hard plastic case, but it's in a stack of cards. But they haven't been moving around.
Yeah.
Dude. So
that's a good card. I know that card.
Interesting.
Kind of like looking over. It's a Donruss. Donruss.
Oh yeah.
Dude, so
I love that you know that card. How would you know that card?
That's
Dude,
what I'm surprised.
I know so many cards.
I didn't know that. Dude,
don't you?
That was your thing?
I mean, in my mind, but I haven't looked them up. Or
Like I remember all the Nolan Ryan cards.
What was
the Fleer one and the like?
What was the
Tinker
deck
Finger
one?
was
Something
best.
deck.
Upper deck.
Upper deck.
Yeah.
That was like those were the expensive.
We don't have time for this.
Dude, well, I do want to bring this up though real
Rich
quick.
kid
So
cards.
I was at my
I get a whole set of tops for like $20.
Yeah.
dude. I was
But
at
it
my
didn't come
in-laws.
with the good cards.
Did it get the? Did it have the hard
I
gum?
feel like a lot of the set, or complete set, I guess would,
Yeah.
but I feel like
I had like an 86 tops complete set. It got stolen out of
I
my
had an
garage.
86 set too. That was like
Stolen
that was
in your
always
garage.
$20.
Yeah, I don't think they've.
87 tops with a wood grain.
Yeah.
Oh well, we can talk about this.
I know.
Well, the only thing I was going to mention is I was really. This is not my world, so I was super surprised. My father-in-law was reading like Bloomberg or Time or something, and he left the magazine open on his dining room table
And it was
while I went
actually
to do
a
something.
Playboy in there
And then I went and
naked
looked, and it was like really gnarly stuff, like
Yeah,
kid
like-
porn, and we had to like
yeah.
no, but and so I was looking at what he was reading, and it was the way that they value cards based on condition, and dude, it is insane like how much it jumps based on so little.
That's why.
Like it's crazy. Like we're talking 6 figures versus 5 figures.
Totally.
And I didn't know this. I mean, I'm sure you guys are very familiar with this, but they also like it's the print itself. Like sometimes it's a little misaligned,
We
or
talked about this.
how
I think
like
I talked about this on the podcast.
Well, no, I think
I
we
watched
talked
a
about it
documentary
personally.
about this.
No, I
Dude,
did
like
a
how
podcast because
centered
I think
it
that
is,
was
and like
it was a trivia question of a valuable card, and
Was that a
we talked
Honus
about-
Wagner card?
no, it's
now,
Ty Cobb.
The trippiest thing of all to me is that modern cards, brand new, are worth millions of dollars.
How?
Certain special editions, something or others,
Yeah.
like a LeBron James like recent card is sold for like $3 million.
Wow, that's weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
Anyway,
it's
I don't know
trivia
anything
time.
about that. Trivia time.
How about Art? Can you give us?
Oh my god.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Wow,
Trivia time. By the way, we're into it 2 hours, boys.
really?
It's gonna be a long filed upload. Sorry, Joao. All right. Of the 5 major oceans in the world, name the smallest.
I'm so dumb, dude. Indian. I don't know. That's probably huge.
Indian's massive.
Is the Adriatic part
That's
of it?
not a major.
It's not a major? What about Arctic?
Art got it.
Arctic?
Smallest, shallowest, and coldest of the world's 5 majors. All right,
What's the
moving
Arctic?
on.
Wait. Oh, okay. I thought that was a question.
That's it. One Toyota is no longer recommended by Consumer Reports.
Only one.
Only one model.
No longer
Name the
recommended.
model.
Tundra.
Bingo. Did you know
Tundra's
that
still a
the
thing.
Tundra?
The new Tundra's
They just redesigned it.
hideous.
I'm so out of the loop.
They're
redesigned
probably because it's so hideous.
There's you
It's
don't
not-
want to see it.
That would be my guess because it is horrible. But they went from a 5.7 liter V8 that they've been using forever to 3 choices of V6s.
Of course.
Turbocharged V6, and that comes with 348 horsepower, by the way. The V8 was 381. But there's a hybrid powertrain option that uses a similar engine, gets 437 horsepower combined. V6 out of that big truck, and that's why, because I guess they're not great.
They went
So-
back to T100.
Yeah, yeah. So you can no longer get a V8 Tundra, which is
Lame.
so weird.
Lame.
I
yeah.
don't know why they do stuff like that.
Because fuel.
I know, but then you think that it's going to
emission,
be stressed more and
I know, but it doesn't
just
matter,
don't
dude. It's all
get
about
it.
that freaking cycle and
3
whatever, dude.
MPGs.
Yeah.
But not with the hybrid, yeah, right? It's filling. Torque fill.
Back a few months ago, there was a hurricane in Florida called Hurricane Ian. And in that hurricane, a 2015 McLaren P1 was floating around in someone's
The yellow one, yeah.
cul-de-sac. It just sold on Copart for how much money?
Oh man, a P1. Those things are probably like what, like 2 million now? A P1.
2.3 is
They're
Yeah.
definitely.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna say 1.1.
1.1. This car was also not only was it underwater and floating around, I think it was also smashed by something.
675 LT. 675K.
I remember seeing the dude's post on Instagram, like
Yeah.
the guy who owned
Yeah.
it.
Well, he also owned like a Rolls, right?
Yep.
And both of them
He
got
showed
fucked
his
up.
garage, and it was literally just floating around his garage, and then eventually it broke out of the garage and was
Yeah.
floating down the street. You are over twice.
Oh wow,
327.
Damn, that sounds like a
Jeez.
deal, dude. That sounds-
327. They say that
327 Chevy.
this is on Copart, and they're thinking that it's going to be a parts car, of course, but it was also marked as, I guess they call it like unrestorable, or it's got some.
Oh,
not
so it's
just-
like not titleable.
Like, I don't
or
think you can turn it-
can't ever drive it again
Right.
on the street. Yeah.
like essentially it's
Yeah.
just for parts. But you know,
Why?
I think if you took it to another country or something, whatever. But I think because it's so damaged, maybe.
Why did they do? I, mean,
don't know.
It feels like if you could fix it, like,
But it's a hybrid hypercar. Like,
Yeah, but who? I mean,
I guess it's
don't
up to you
know.
to fix it,
Yeah.
right? Maybe there's some safety reasons. brakes and
That's
airbags.
weird.
and
I
It's
mean,
stuff.
like some
you
old
can fix
archaic
anything,
law or
right?
something. Yeah, that's that bad. Yeah, dude, I
It's an
think
insurance thing. I'm sure.
I remember. Shit, I can't remember where I read it, but like when it first happened, I want to say the guy drove it like 80 miles. Like he had just bought it, right? Like
Yeah, I
he didn't
think it
have
was
very
on
long.
auction,
Well,
right?
there was also it's like Paul Auto Kennel,
Yeah.
Paul Kramer. He sold a G-body Speedster,
Oh dang!
and he sold it like 3 weeks before, and that was one of the ones that popped up on Copart. And it was like, remember there was an article. It
Oh
was like
yeah,
three
they had a few
Speedsters
cars. Yeah.
on Copart, and
Yeah.
one of those was the blue 911
Oh,
Speedster
dang.
that Paul sold, and the guy that barely owned it.
I got to imagine that there was a lot of cars moved out of Florida after that hurricane.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing, right? It's a known thing for flood cars, right? I mean, it's just, but I think G-body Speedster versus McLaren P1, crazy fucking, like that is
Everything.
so complex, like that in terms of electronics. Whereas like, I think the more archaic and simple the car is, like the less of an issue it is, really, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's salt water, which is a problem, but
It's all
Dude,
a problem.
Yeah,
Another reason to not buy a car from Florida, by the way.
Amen. Sorry, Nick. Talk to you later.
That's
okay,
true,
that's
yeah.
podcast. See you later.
Bye.
Later.